Pops it into the center circle. McManus double team there. Bumped off the ball by Bolton. And it's tipped loose and through the circle back into Rhino territory. Recovered by Aloisi. Rhinos have it. To Black. Draws it up the left wing side to midfield. Ben Younger turning to get away from Hassim. Cross midfield. He'll pick up speed as he dribbles it forward, looking for the through ball, but it's behind Severs and then booted away by Lancaster on the far side across midfield and up into the stands. Rhinos have to throw in from their own side of midfield. And it's a short throw into Palguda. Turns it ahead for Burns. Looking around, draws it to the outside. Ahead, Shirley Black on the left wing, and out to midfield for Younger. Turns it ahead. He's bowled over from behind, and a foul is called on Butte, and a restart for the Rhinos just across midfield. This on the left wing side. Just getting started. Now the 5th minute. There in Atlanta. Rochester playing in this facility for the first time last year. They have done some work to continue with the building of the facility, a walkway around the top of the lower Royal stands. They were supposed to have a press box facility done this year, but that wasn't done. Pass up the far wing, ball with it. Turning back and along, chip down along the 18, moving in Shifley, head ball, and knocked out of the feet of the goalkeeper, McIntosh, who makes a great save right there. Nice service, and an excellent head ball taken by Shifley. So the Rhinos getting the first shot away on the night. Out to midfield. On the attack now, the Silverbacks drop it off at midfield, turning back. And again through the center circle, a pass off into the middle. Dropped by Antoniuk for McManus, and he'll play it to the outside of the near wing for Moore. Turning back, Moore brings it forward. Along the near side, approaching midfield. Looking for the ball through. McManus, as he'll draw it forward, switches to the outside on the left wing, and moving up on the play is the defender Hayes. Pass forward, down to the 20 in the middle. Spin around shot there by Rios, and a hopper to the end line, where it's blocked there by Santos. And the new keeper for the Rhinos has his first touch on the ball. Santos in from Portugal. And his second outing in a Rhinos uniform, his first in U.S. First Division play. Drop to the outside, up left wing is Shifley approaching midfield. Right puts it across midfield, but blocked there by Moore, puts it off the leg of Shifley and out. Throw it on the near side for the Silverbacks from their own side of midfield, and drawn off of the near wing, and chipped ahead up the right wing, but no help there, and back for it goes Palguda for the Rhinos. No score, 2-0 victory for the Silverbacks the first time they met this year. Drop back. These are the two highest scoring teams in the league so far this season. Rochester coming into tonight leading the league with 25 goals, and the Silverbacks second in the league with 21 goals. Long ball downfield, and out to grab it is McIntosh. He has played the last 3 straight games, has won all 3, and has given up a total of 2 goals in the last 3 games. The Silverbacks in the last 3 games have outscored the opposition 7 goals to 2. Moore tries left wing side. At midfield on the far wing, taken by Hayes. Being watched there by Ball. Turns back in midfield, tried to sneak it through, but Ball got the foot on it to deflect it away. Back in the Silverbacks territory. It's not an aside for Bobo. From his 35, he'll push it to the outside, up the right wing, and approaching midfield. Here comes Moore. Crosses midfield line. Watched by Burns to the outside again. Hassim drops it back at the midfield line for Bobo. Has been Younger. Plays 1v1 on him, and the ball into the center circle is drawn ahead by Butte. On the attack. He's stuck through, rolling ball. He's taken down at his 6th by Santos. So the Rochester keeper has the ball. Rolls it away to the outside. And the Rhinos will bring it away. Well, we were over here this morning for a walkthrough practice, and it was a deluge. Boy, did it ever rain this morning. It's cloudy and muggy, but cool. Not much breeze here in Atlanta right now. It's a pleasant evening. A little bit muggy, but very pleasant. Off the left wing side. Long service down in front. Hit ball up. Comes out the near wing. Hassim trying to crack it away, but that's blocked and carried off by Shifley along the near side. And then send it along the left wing touch line all the way through midfield. Bobo back, getting tied up with Severs, and Bobo plays it back to the keeper. McIntosh one touch ahead of the middle. Lancaster dropping it back again, and McIntosh this time will first time it out through the midfield circle. Kramer nods it back into Atlanta territory, and underneath it is McManus. He'll drop it off. Lancaster to Bobo. Out on the near wing. Bobo turns it ahead on the right side to Moore. Rolling ball out to the midfield line. We're knocked down by McManus. He stumbled, actually stepped on the ball and lost it. It's taken away. Shifley to Younger. Through ball, but Severs goes down head first. Got bumped and couldn't get his feet underneath it. On away on the near wing by Moore. Approaching midfield down the 9th minute of Atlanta, and no score. Moore will shank it off the outside of his foot into the stands. Throw in for the Rhinos from their own 20 on the near side of the field. Black with a throw in to Falguda. Drops it off in the middle along his 18. Aloisi right back to Scott Falguda, who leads the league still in minutes played this season. Drawn off at midfield, Ben Younger to the outside, a chip forward. As the ball bouncing down inside the 18, out to grab it is McIntosh, but the Rhinos are in offside. Ahead of the play with Severs. Offside flag against the Rhinos. 9th minute, no score here in Atlanta. Rhinos' schedule certainly easing up, that is, right now, as they won't play again until next Saturday at home against Seattle. Head ball in the air, back near midfield. Ben Younger off the chest. Turns around and trying to get away. It's taken by Moore, and the ball is controlled now by the Silverbacks. Bobo from the midfield line. Sends it down to the 20. That's headed away by Falguda all the way back out to the center circle. Up they go for the head ball, and finally settled there by Hayes for McManus at the midfield line. All for the near wing, and Moore on the attack. Moore brings it forward. Trying to draw and does back in the middle for Butte. He'll look around. The midfielder sneaks a pass ahead for Antoniuk. Checking back. Drops it to the outside again along the near wing. And Moore up the right wing for Hasim. At the Rochester 25. Now breaks for the middle along the 18. Looking for the cross down in front of Bolton. Gets the left foot on to boot it away out of the box. Out near midfield. Bobo up with it again. Center circle taken by Butte. And his pass blocked away off the back heel. A ball, but still controlled down by the Silverbacks. Carried forward. Okay, trying to sneak through. Gets a slow roller in. Scooped up off his 2-yard line by Santos. Silverbacks with another shot. 10th minute here in Atlanta. No score. Drop back. Falguda. Toss it out on the right wing side. Ahead comes Aloisi. Long on the far wing and across midfield. That touches the tips the touchline on the far side, then skips out of bounds. So we'll throw in for the Silverbacks from their own 25 off the left wing. Hayes looking out for the throw in. Backs up a step. Now takes a high throw in coming down to midfield as the players bump. Antoniuk getting tied up there with Kramer, and as play goes on, brought away by John Ball in the middle, reaching for Ben Younger, turns triple team, ball knocked away, and McManus finally up with it for the backs. Drops it off from his 20, carried forward by Moore, looks around, plays it back in the middle for McManus. His feet ahead, Butte turns it back to his 20, where it's taken there by Lancaster, and he'll roll it ahead for McManus. Watched by Severs. Now off on the near side. Once again, Bobo turns it to the outside, up the right wing for Moore. Across midfield for Hasim along the midfield line. Return pass to Moore in the middle. Gives it off in the center circle for McManus. His pass ahead, turning in, trying to get away. Was Antoniuk, but the ball blocked away and carried off by Aloisi of the Rhinos. Turns it to the outside, overlapping is Ben Younger. Down to the 35, looks it through to the outside. Burns down to the 15, down to the 10. Here's a cross along the 6, and that's booted up in the air. Severs got a foot on it, but that's put way up into the stands on the far side. So the Rhinos get it into the box, but can't get a shot on the frame, and it's a throw-in across the way as the ball is booted out by the Silverbacks. Shifley looks like we'll move over for the throw-in, just his second appearance of the season. P.J. Shifley had 9 minutes played before tonight. Pressed into duty, of course, with all of the injuries. 8 players out injured. I think it's 8, or is it 9 if you're going to count Aaron Lyons, who's on the trip but unable to dress. Not heard in practice yesterday. A long throw in down to the 6 and a flick on, but that's knocked away out top. Ben Younger from 20, right-footed kick. That's blocked to the wall in front. Here's a shot he knocked down. Rebound, they score! The first shot in, McIntosh knocked it down. Kramer's there, gets the rebound with the left foot, and now they're going to wave it off. Was it offside? Offside flag. Oh, man. Well, he got excited for no reason there. Offside flag. As Kramer, I was just about to say, was going to have his first goal. But it's waved off. Offside against the Rhinos. All right, golden opportunity right there. So a nice shot, nice save by McIntosh, but all for naught. And it remains scoreless here in Atlanta. 13th minute. And out of midfield, a ball on the far wing is taken and driven up the left wing side, but bouncing out of bounds on the far side. And it'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos across the way. And you know what? As you look at the linesmen, it's hard to spot it. The seats are all different colors. And the linesmen, the officials have dark blue jerseys, and the linesman on the far side of the field sort of blends in with the seats. Turned out on the near wing after Shifley off the left wing side. Trying to sneak by Hassim, but deflected away. But Bolton with a high chip for the post. Upper corner, tipped away out over the end line by McIntosh. Bolton almost nailed the upper corner on the right side, the far side. Almost nailed it. So it'll be a corner kick for the Rhinos. This off the far side of the field, and it looks like Shifley will move over for the corner kick. First corner of the match. 14th minute, no score here in Atlanta. Rhinos lining up along the 18. Sievers is down inside the 6. And it is Shifley. He'll take the kick. A corner kick off the right wing side. He's a right-footed kicker, so it'll be an outswinger. Here comes the service in the box out to about the 15, then flicked away and out by Antoniuk. Big bounces all the way out to near the center circle, knocked down by Aloisi. He'll drop it off on the near side, and they're moving in onto the ball. Is Shirley Black. Gives it to Burns. Spins around with the right foot. Long service up the far side. In underneath it. Blocked to the end line by Shifley. Roller down in front. Ball gets to it, but back to the net. Can't shoot. And it chipped high out on the far wing. Carried away by Oka. Then blocked aside, and the Rhinos back for it. Kramer blocks it off. Palguda takes it there. Through the center circle and onto the near side for Shirley Black and across the midfield line. Blocked away and out off the foot of Hassim. Throw it on the near wing for the Rhinos. To their own side of midfield, taken by Palguda. Burns back toward the middle, looks to the outside, a hit for Shirley Black. Approaching the midfield line, across midfield, Menyonger to his own side of midfield, taken by Burns. Turns, is watched closely by Antoniuk. The end of the center circle. Burns, long service to get out the right side, in behind. It's Kramer underneath it. Jams it along the 6 through out the near side, and Shifley after it, but headed away out over the end line by Hassim as he had to hustle to get back in time. So another corner kick for the Rhinos. Second corner of the night. Rhinos with a makeshift lineup, if you will, here tonight. Trying to absorb all of the injury situation. Corner kick off the near wing. And a high service, in-swinger off the far side, headed up in the air, underneath the Palguda up, but couldn't reach it. That comes outside the 18, spinning around, Menyonger on the near wing. Burns turns, switching back to the right foot, takes a shot, blocked in front, comes down to the 18 again. Off they go and nodded away out of the box, then deflected in and hammered away and downfield by Lancaster. After all of that, he figures, it's just got to get rid of it, and he did. Just played it all the way downfield, so the Rhinos retreat back to their own side of midfield to pick up the ball. However, the whistle is blown, we'll do it all over again. So evidently a foul was called as we'll have to restart all the way back down at the Atlanta 18. McIntosh is a 6'1", 175, a 24-year-old from Cooper City, Florida. Played last year something for DC United. Across midfield, handed in the air. Palguda will knot it out across midfield. And Hayes tips it to the outside. Running off here at Rios along the left wing side. His pass ahead. Antoniuk is upended, taken down. Foul is called, and the foul is on Antoniuk. So it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos. That from their own 20 on the far side. 17th minute here in Atlanta, and no score. Aloisi to take the kick. Well, you back up on it again. With the right foot, delivers through midfield. Bolton trying to get there for the flick, but couldn't get to it. Menyonger knocks it down, has it at the feet. Trying to block it out on the near side, but that's tipped aside and played back inside the 18 of McIntosh will first time it away. Out to near midfield, moving in underneath it is Danny Kramer. They'll draw it forward, double team, and the ball finally taken away. And on the attack now, here's Butte with a pass into the center circle. Spinning upfield is Antoniuk. In behind is Bolton, but he's called to the foul, so it'll be a free kick for the Silverbacks in the center circle. Center ref having a few words for Bolton, trying to settle him down. By the way, the center ref is Oscar Ortiz. The assistant's Patrick Baker and Alex Oliver, and the fourth is Mark Sorrell. Down inside, booted away. The 6-5 block, got the left foot on it, pushed it out the far end of the box. Ball drops it back. Kramer carries it forward. Rolling ball out near midfield. Bolton turns, one touch across midfield, flicked across the midfield line by Menyonger. Not there, taken by Lancaster. Of the Silverbacks, drops it back to his keeper. McIntosh has it. A little bit of a breeze picking up now. Very little bit. Out on the left wing side, Hayes, as he's challenged there. Hayes turning back at his own 25, being watched by Ball, rolls it up the left side and blocked away. Ball in after it, but the guy got away and it rolls out of bounds. And off of the Silverbacks will throw in for the Rhinos. Ball with the throw into the middle along the 35. Bolton touching it off for Burns. Looks around, drops it back at the midfield line. Falguda to the right side for Aloisi. Drawing it up the right wing on the attack. A chip down to the 20, and that's booted away and out top. In underneath it in the center circle, Black just volleys it forward. Headed in the air to the center circle once again. McManus for Antonia. Compute. Pops it up in the air on the right wing. Running under the ball goes Hasim. On him is Shifley. As they turn him behind, Shifley knocked it down, but Hasim gets away, and then he's pulled down, and a foul is called on the Rhinos. Foul is called on Shifley. And the referee comes over, gives him a bit of a warning. 19th minute here in Atlanta. And no score. Free kick for Atlanta. About 30 yards out off the right wing side. Now the ball will be placed. Looks like it'll be David Hayes to take the kick. Hayes coming into tonight. 3 goals, 3 assists, 9 points on the season. Left-footed kicker. See if he has a go from there. Now the 20th minute. Taking his time, awaiting the referee to get all set up. And here comes the service. Goes at the back post and then headed up and out over top of the crossbar and out of play. So the Silverbacks get a shot away. But put it wide. Sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Schweigels, the official hot dog at Baytech Park. Power Trip, get in the game. It's Harrow East Athletic Club on the web at harroweast.com. All of those sponsoring these broadcasts all season. Tonight from Atlanta. The only trip for the Rhinos here to Atlanta this season. Cross midfield, that is, of course, barring playoff action. Knocked back, and so foul is called at midfield. A restart for the Rhinos at the midfield line. In the center circle, placed for the restart. Burns has it there. So far, as I have it unofficially, 3 shots for each team. Burns just rolls it back. Falguda. He'll then send it to the outside along the near wing for Black. Moving up on the left wing side. Sends it down inside the 18 as they push there. The ball is blocked out to the 25, and Butte tips it away to the outside. Hayes on the left wing, out through midfield. Knocked down to the midfield line to the far side and brought away by Aloisi. Drops it back in the middle. Burns now works forward to the 35. Watched by McManus. Turns it to the outside, but offside once again against the Rhinos. Another offside is Ball this time in behind. So the Rhinos have had a couple of offsides so far in the match. And a restart for the Silverbacks from their own 20 off the left wing. That's the far side of the field. Hayes to take the kick. Just plays it back to the keeper. And then a return pass to Hayes to the outside. With the left foot, he'll drive it out of midfield, but knocked down to the midfield line by Burns, and the Rhinos have it. Pass ahead for Severs. Again, Burns, this time to the outside, up the right wing. Brought forward by Kramer. As he's pushed and bumped around, it gets a cross down along the 18, but booted away and out the far side. As the Rhinos unable to finish, and the ball on the far side will be a throw-in for Rochester, 25 yards out off the far side of the field. That's the Rhinos' right wing side. Shifley coming over for the throw-in. 22nd minute, no score here in Atlanta. Rhinos winning their last league game against Carolina. Here's Shifley. Nice throw in. All the way down inside, but headed away by Lancaster on top. Tip for Burns to Younger. Right-footed kick in, but as he moves to his left, McIntosh catches it in the midsection. So the Rhinos get another shot at it. McIntosh up to the task. Cross midfield, long service down to the Rhino 20, headed away by Black from Younger. He'll turn back, has it along the near wing, spins, looks out to midfield for Severs, checking back as his pass is picked off and taken away. A ball controlled by the Silverbacks. Off in the middle for Antonia, but booted away by Aloisi to the center circle. Quick to side McManus, and back for Butte, drops it to the outside for Hayes. Return pass, Butte in the middle, chips it across midfield. After it, Aloisi nods it to the center circle, but Antonia Gup is able to knock it away and turn, and picked up there by the Silverbacks. McManus, as he spins around, drops it to his own side of midfield to Lancaster. Long to the outside of the right wing, along the midfield line. Moore has it on the near wing. Watch there by Severs, pass in the middle. Butte dropping it back once again. Bobo, as the Silverbacks now play deliberate. Pass ahead, blocked to the outside, tipped away by Oka for Moore. Ball to the near touchline, service ahead as they try and catch Hassim breaking out the outside, blocked away, and the Rhinos will carry it off. Severs, pass ahead, Bolton, tipping it back to Burns, but stepping in to intercept is McManus. Moving down, pass along the 18, off the left wing side. As the backs turn, can't get a shot at the frame. On the far wing, now it's spun around, and Rios turns it to the outside for Hayes. Has it 20 yards out of the left wing. As the challenge there, it's tipped away, but out top, controlled still. Butte spinning around, leaves it there for Rios. He'll step over and now draws it off to the end line, and Hayes moving in. Cross down in front, punched away by Santos off the near wing. Blocked out to the 20, spin around and a shot, and they score. Out with the ball was Oka. Got spun around. Santos was still down on the pitch. Hambley shot inside the left post, and the Silverbacks take first blood. Atlanta scores first. And the time, the 24th minute. So the Silverbacks on the board first. And I believe it was Oka to finally put it away. So, 1-0 in favor of Atlanta. And they have been making a habit of scoring first of late. And the last 3 games that they've won, they've scored first in all 3 of those. On the way, Rhinos have it their own side of midfield. Of course, the Rhinos seemingly making a habit of some come-from-behind heroics of late. Seem to get stronger as game goes on, but you have to wonder just how strong this team is with more than half the team out injured. Burns, from his 35, looks back toward the middle. Will right put it off on the far wing, and in behind now. It's blocked off the end line by Kramer, but flag is in the air offside against the Rhinos once again. And they give the assist to Hayes. Hayes gets the assist. So in the 24th minute, Oka from Hayes. And Oka picks up his 3rd goal of the season. Nodded away at midfield, off of the near wing. In underneath it is Hassim. Goes to the outside of the right wing, overlapping is Moore, but it's too far ahead, doesn't get to it. Taken back by Shirley Black of the Rhinos. Spinning around is Burns, left puts it downfield, and on his first receiver trying to get to it, but out to block it. Had to hit it as he went outside the 18 was McIntosh, and the ball rolls out the near end of the 18, all the way to the corner. As challenging ball on Bobo, and the ball played along the near side. Shifley steps in to steal it away. Turning toward the middle, gets away from 2, and a pass off in the middle, Bolton. Gets it back, Burns on the outside, 35 yards out with the left foot. Chips it down inside. Severs a flick ball for the far side of the 6, and grabbed there by McIntosh. Comes away with the ball in one hop. Moves the players away. 26th minute here in Atlanta, and the Backs have taken a 1-0 lead. Out the right wing is Moore. Burns looks, drops it back. Down to the 20, up with Lancaster. He has been here for 5 games. I think this is his 6th game since a mid-season signing. Lancaster has played just about every minute since he's been here. Right forward now. And a cross through the center circle off of the near side, where it's taken by Moore, not approaching the midfield line. Moore drops it back in the middle. McManus, his own side of midfield, now will deliver across midfield off of the far side. Hayes heads it back in the middle, knocked down there by Rios. Popped up in the air, coming down the Rochester 30, and then headed away by Palguda all the way out across midfield. That's into the stands on the far side. A throw in at the midfield line for the Silverbacks. Throw in, dropped out of midfield, Bolton into the center circle. Chasing after it there is Burns. As he sneaks by one, away on the outside of the near wing, catches up to it himself. Rolls it off in the middle for Shifley. He'll look for it. B.J. Shifley back in the center circle. Bolton turns it to the outside along the near wing, and Black up with the ball. Had to stretch for it, but comes up with it. Drops it off. Palguda switching out of the right wing side, the far side of the field for Aloisi. Cross midfield on the outside for Kramer. Drops it back at the midfield line for Palguda in the center circle. Left foot to the head on the near side. In underneath it is Shifley chasing the ball deep to the near corner. Turns back, stumbles, goes down as he tried to get it behind Moore, but couldn't do it. Moore giving it off to McManus from his 35 and into the center circle. Oka dropping it back for Moore once again. We'll switch it to the outside of the left wing, and underneath it is Hayes. At the midfield line, David Hayes up with an assist on that first goal. Now has 10 points on the season. To the outside of the near wing, and ahead with it is Moore. Brings it forward. Justin Moore, 24-year-old from Lowburn, Georgia. Played for the Dallas FC Dallas a little bit last year. Back at midfield. Hayes has it again. Approaching the midfield circle, turns back and drops it off to his own 30 for Lancaster. With the right foot, sends it through midfield, but in underneath it is Black, and the Rhinos have it. Black up the near side, but nobody there. As Younger had stopped his run. Recovered by Moore. And the Silverbacks with the ball at their own end of the field. To the outside of the left wing is Hayes. Cross midfield on the far wing. Antoniuk bothered there by Aloisi. Trying to spin away. There's Aloisi. He'll be our halftime interview, so just stick around for that. Pass back on the near side. Switch to the right wing, and Moore has a go at the frame, or actually for the back post. Head ball in is up over top of the crossbar. Nice service by Moore. Oka there. Got up for the head ball, but puts it high. Goal kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Nextel, Power Up, Best Volvo, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together. And Cintas, the service professionals. Discover what Cintas can do for your organization. Past midfield, but tangled up and going down to Sievers, and ball now is picked off by Ball. However, foul is called. We'll go the other way. Free kick for the Silverbacks from their own 30 in the middle. Lancaster rolls it ahead a couple of yards. Rhinos at home next Saturday against the Seattle Sounders. Service through midfield, headed off into the middle, but blocked away by Palguda all the way out to midfield. Taken at the midfield line by Ball, drawing it forward to Younger, but stepping in. However, it got away from Lancaster. Younger has it back. Feed forward to Seaver, spinning around 20 yards out. He'll lay it off for Ball. Turns it to the outside, but nobody there. Shifley had cut into the middle instead of going to the outside, and Ball fed it away for the winger, overlapping, but nobody there. On the near side, brought forward by Moore. Numbers 35, out to midfield. Antoniuk heads it aside. Okay, in after it. Blocked there by Black, and in the center circle is taken by Rios. To the outside for Hayes, moving up on the left wing. Down into Rhino territory. Pass back in the middle. Pushed to the outside by Butte once again for Hayes. And then he'll just lay it back at midfield for Rios. Switching off on the near side. The wide open right wing. Underneath it is Moore. Pulling it down to the 25 and a pass along the near touch line. His team right back to Moore. Had to scramble to get to it. Younger tying up. And the ball rolls away and out. And off of the Silverbacks. So it'll be a throw in for the Rhinos. Referee coming over to have a chat with Moore, who was grabbing onto Younger. So a throw in near midfield. Actually, it was a foul called, so it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos, their own side of midfield. Black just lays it back for Palguda. 31st minute in Atlanta, and a 1-0 lead for the Silverbacks, having scored back in the 24th minute. Aloisi up the right wing of midfield for Kramer. As he'll drop it back, Aloisi first time's it ahead. In underneath it, Sievers, working to the outside, spinning, trying to get away from Butte. Still along the far wing, finally it's knocked away. Sievers in his second game, back from the USL second division, playing for Harrisburg. 5 games in Harrisburg, 3 goals, 1 assist, 7 points. So he was putting on the numbers on the board in the second division. Turned to the outside on the near wing, and a pass in the middle, popped up in the air by McManus, bolted in underneath it for the Rhinos, flicks it ahead. That's knocked down, and foul is called, and a free kick for the Rhinos, 40 yards out, a little bit to the right of center. Burns to take the kick. Burns is cleared to play, but his conditioning is still suspect. Coming back from was it inflamed liver? He's going to have to go 90. A long shot of the frame as tried to get Sievers going up for the flick, but couldn't reach it. That's into the arms of McIntosh, the keeper. So Burns is just getting back into condition. However, it looks like he's going to have to play the full 90 minutes. We'll see how well the conditioning does. The ball rolls through the far end of the 18 toward the end line. Aloisi blocking. The ball knocked down on the end line is still there. Aloisi boots it away toward the corner. Asim gets to it as he'll cross it in front, but finally Palguda gets the left foot on it to bang it up into the stands. Throw in deep in the right wing corner for the Silverbacks. Throw in to Butte. Left foots it down inside. Up in the air. Booted away by Bolton out the near wing. That's flick forward. Ball, but headed to the outside again. Bobo to Asim on the near wing. That's knocked away and out by Black, so it'll be a throw-in once again for the Silverbacks about 10 yards out off the near side. A seam for the throw-in. Trying to go short to Oka, but that's blocked away, and the Rhinos up with the ball. And it's Younger. Pass ahead at midfield. Sievers turning it back to the outside, and now moving up on the ball. Black turning, trying to get away from a seam. He'll roll it off in the middle for Burns. Spins back to get away from Oka. Still has it. Now long-footed, right-footed kickoff on the far side. Kramer underneath it. Hayes on him immediately. Kramer at midfield. Lays it back for Aloisi, his own side of midfield, and he'll drop it along the 35 in the middle. Palgudu with a pass ahead for Burns in the center circle. 34th minute in Atlanta. The 1-0 lead for the Silverbacks. On the near side for Shifley. Then Younger back to Shifley. Couldn't reach it as it skips out of bounds. So in on the near side for the Silverbacks from their own 35. Rochester women's team coming out on the short end of a 3-1 score against, I believe it was Ottawa. 3-1 was the score there, so pretty good score against one of the top teams in the women's league. Foul is called, taken down. Sievers, 20 yards out, directly in the middle. Sievers as a free kick for the Rhinos, again 20 yards out, just a hair to the left of center. And Younger placing the ball. Referee telling him to set it, and Younger points about 3 or 4 yards ahead and says, no, it was up there. Now good, and now Ball also pointing. There's a 5-man wall, 6-man just inside the 18, out about 16 yards out. Referee trying to move him back yet another yard. This is about the same spot that the Revolution scored in that free kick. Was it Ralston the other night? Put it away, picking the upper corner. Let's see if the Rhinos will go for the frame here. And Younger and Ball are there. Palguda standing in behind. And Younger goes for the frame and just missed the left corner. He tried that shot, just barely missed the upper left corner. It was close. Well, they watched Ralston do it, thought they could put it away. It was close, I'll tell you. And it looked like maybe only just 4 or 5 inches away from the left post. 36th minute here in Atlanta, 1-0 in favor of the Silverbacks. To the outside of the far wing. McManus. Pass ahead for Butte, pops it up in the air, and then volleys it downfield. Palguda back, but Antoniuk settling at the feet, turning from side to side, trying to get away from Palguda. Play goes on as Antoniuk stumbles, and Aloisi will then lay it to the outside. Burns drops it back to the keeper. Couple of bounces to the 6. Santos to the outside for Aloisi. On the right ring, slow roller ahead. Out to the 25, brought forward by Burns. Takes the look downfield. Turns back to the left foot side and switching it off on the near wing for Black. Begins to dribble it upfield. 36th minute here in Atlanta. 1-0 lead for the Silverbacks. Now long cross to the right wing side again for Kramer. Bogs it forward down to the 25. Turning back toward the middle. Left puts it down inside the 18. Sievers heads it back up top. 35 yards out. Taken by Bolton to Burns. He'll switch it through. Trying to get it through, but ball blocked away then. Moving in safely with it. Chip down inside. Head ball up in the air outside the 18. And underneath it is Rios to left foot it through and downfield. Sends it all the way down. So the Silverbacks just content to clear it away when they got in a little bit of trouble. Just hammered it away and downfield. Gone away by Aloisi. Cross midfield. He'll turn it back to the center circle on the near side for Black. Into Atlanta territory. Pass ahead from Younger. Sneaks by Butte. Brings it forward. Down to the 20. Turning, rolling it off in the middle for Bolton. Moving in. Chip back to the outside. Near into the 18. And safely had stopped. And Sievers was watching as the ball is then played away out top. Taken by Black. Rhino still have it. And Younger with a spin around. Gets away from Butte. Turns back in the middle. Stumbles. Goes down finally. As no whistle is called. And the ball brought away by the Silverbacks. Upfield is Oka being chased by Bolton out to the midfield line. Oka turning back for the ball. Drops it off at his 25. Hayes off in the middle. Where it's taken by Lancaster to pass forward. McManus out to the center circle. See a little bit of lightning here. And I don't know if we're going to be seeing some rain coming or not here. Cross midfield. Drop back at the midfield line. Up the right wing. It's turned to the outside and gets away from a seam and out. Throw in for the Rhinos. 15 yards out of their own end of the field. That's to my right here in the first half. 38th minute. Throw in short to Black. Shirley Black on the 18. Palguda got away from him but turns back in the middle. Santos to the outside of the right wing for Aloisi. He'll draw it back in the middle. Taken by Palguda along his 20. Off in the middle once again to Black on the near side. As the Rhinos begin to work on the build-up. Drop back once again to Palguda from his 35 into the outside of the right wing for Aloisi. Rhinos are at home on Saturday night, next Saturday night against the Seattle Sounders. Aloisi, long chip downfield, coming to bounces inside the 18, and out to grab it on the hop is the goalkeeper, McIntosh. Don't forget, next Saturday, Sligo's Family 4-pack night. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas for $64. It's also Irish night. Come on out, enjoy Irish music and dancers. Tickets available, Paytech Park box office, Ticketmaster.com, or you can call 232-1900 to charge by phone. Long service down to the back end of the 18-yard box. Out with it there is Antoniak. Draws it to the outside for Hayes. Has it 10 yards out, switching back to the right foot. Serves it down inside, headed away by Palguda. All the way out, foot 4 by Bolton. Out near midfield, Seaver's able to knot it down for ball. Then he's run over by Butte, and the foul is called. Free kick for the Rhinos from the center circle. Quick restart by the Rhinos. Push to the outside. Kramer up the right wing, drops it back. Bolton working forward to the outside again for Kramer up the right wing. Serves it down inside. Seaver's up, couldn't get to it, and Bobo heads it away outside. To the 35, ball turns back with it. Right puts it down far into the box. Kramer in a collision with Hayes. Ball skips through, rolling to the end line, and a foul is called. So the Rhinos are called to the foul, and a free kick for the Silverbacks from their own, got it about 8 yards out. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. Salvatores, they deliver everything but babies. Also, Health Source Chiropractic. For information or appointments, call 225-6430 or log on to healthsourcechiropractic.com. Ball through midfield, knocked down in the center circle. Seaver's after it there as he gets tangled up, trying to get away as Burns. Ball carried off by McManus of the Silverbacks. To Rios, long left-footed downfield and on the right wing side, running into the ball. At the near corner of the 18 is Hasim. That's knocked down across along the 8, down in front, and booted away by Burns on the far side. Across along the end line, out along the 6, and it's snuck through and played out the far side. So the Rhinos dodging a bullet right there. And a corner kick for the Silverbacks. 41st minute here in Atlanta. 1-0 lead for the Bats. Corner kick off the left wing side. Rios will take the kick. And now a left-footed kicker. Outswinger. He'll back up on the ball. Deep in the far corner once again. Of course, the corner kick. Left-footed service goes to the back post, up in the air, headed in the air, and then knotted away through the box by Ball at the far side. In with it, Palguda with a foot. He'll then waft that one up over the stands, or actually does finally come down in the stands. Throw it in the far side once again for the Silverbacks from 35 yards out. Throw into Bobo, but not done right. We'll do it all over again. This again, 20 yards out. Throw in along the left wing side, back near midfield, where it's taken by Hayes. Right footed down to the 18, but booted away and out by Palguda. After it is Burns toward the center circle, spinning around to get away from Butte. Turns back for the ball. He sneaks it by Antoniak, still has it. Turn around and lays it out on the near side. Hayes will bring it away up the left wing. Or make that Black for Menyonger, dropping it back for Shirley Black. Turning in the near corner, even Shirley Black to the corner of the 18. Palguda's there. 42nd minute here in Atlanta. Switching to the right wing side for Aloisi. And it's Kramer dropping right back to Aloisi. Again, it's a switch to the near side once again, taken by Black, and he'll roll it ahead of midfield for Menyonger, but got away. Black up with the ball. Lost it, gets it back, deflected away again, and now taken by the Silverbacks. Hasim turning back for it. As he draws it back across the midfield line, gives it off to a defender Moore. At the midfield line, plays it back toward the middle on the 35 for Bobo. To his left for Lancaster. Looks for the service downfield, still has it. Pass ahead into the center circle. McManus turns it upfield, but tackled away momentarily. Over McManus up with it again. Rolls along the midfield line on the near side and more. Now they'll move into Rhino territory. To the outside for Racine. Pops it back at midfield for Bobo. With the right foot, pass up the near wing, and stepping in Shifley, but Oka will knock it down there for Rios. Turning back with it, has the left foot, 35 yards out. Switching to the outside in the far wing, deep in the far corner, nobody is there, and the ball is chased down by the Rhinos. Brought away by Ball on the right side. Approaching midfield. Dropped off in the middle, 20 yards out for Palguda. To the outside of the near wing, once again for Shirley Black. Takes his time, slows it up, stops, turns it back to Palguda in the middle. Rhinos very deliberate at the moment. Rolling it away on the right wing side for Aloisi. Makes the look for the long ball and now sends it downfield, but in behind. I'm not sure where the offsides is there. Boy, Sievers had two guys in behind him the whole way from where the ball was kicked all the way down. Well, offside anyway. That's 5 offsides against the Rhinos this match and 1 against the Silverbacks. So far, unofficially, I have 7 shots for Atlanta, 6 for the Rhinos. Left-footed kick by Hayes through midfield. Bolton up, heads it back across the midfield line. Underneath it, ball with a flick forward to Sievers. Turning it behind, trying to get away. Spinning around, goes down. And he gets up and comes away with the ball. Has to be Younger, but stepping in the way of that pass is Bobo. He'll chip it back to the midfield circle, and the Rhinos up with it. Shifley drops it off of the midfield line for Shirley Black. Ball on the left wing side. And plays it back toward the center circle. Palguda dribbles across midfield. He gives it forward to Burns, gets it right back, and switching to the outside of the right wing for Aloisi. 44th minute now. Some lightning off in the distance. Drop back in the middle for Burns. Long chip up the left wing side. Now that one looked offside, but no call there. Let's play down inside. Side volley kick knocked down. Younger shot blocked away. They battle on the 6th. And finally the whistle is blown as Bobo is taken down and a foul is called. Well, the Rhinos get it all the way down to the 6th. As the shot by Younger was blocked. Sponsors of these broadcasts again include real gyms, real people, real results. That's, of course, the World Gym. Auction Direct for your next car. Log on to auctiondirect.com. And by RITN. Everything you need to be perfectly comfortable is at the RITN. So McIntosh, the keeper, will take the kick. He's unbeaten on the season with 3 wins and a tie. And he is very stingy in giving up goals. Last 3 games has given up only 2. Booted away into the stands. Out of play, throw in for the Silverbacks. That's on the near side of the field from the Rochester, caught at about the 40. Throw in Hakeem, back to midfield, more to Bobo. On the midfield line, left puts it forward in the middle, bouncing down to the 20. The rolling ball down inside will be scooped up. That is 10 by Santos. He'll right-foot it out on the far side, out to midfield. Locked away, 1 minute of additional time, 1 minute of injury time here as the ball is played away and out on the far side. Throw in, crossed away for the Silverbacks on their own side of the field. That off the left wing side, 35 yards out. Approaching halftime here at Silverbacks Park. Ball pushed forward. Burns to the outside. Make that Bolton for ball and return pass on a give and go. Bolton will get to it. Lancaster will block as the ball rolls out over the end line. And the Rhinos at home next Saturday night against the Seattle Sounders. Rhinos women's game coming up July 20th against Hamilton, 7:30. That's on July 20th, $1 day. Kids 12 and under get in for just $1, and kids 12 and under can buy a hot dog for just $1. Don't miss that. That's on July the 20th. Goal kick through midfield, but the whistle blows, and that's going to be it for the half. So we played 1 half here in Atlanta, and the Silverbacks coming up with a lone goal, although the Rhinos did score once, and however it was called on the outside. So obviously did not count, and Atlanta comes away with the lead at the half. Through 45, it is the Atlanta Silverbacks 1 and the Rochester Rhinos nothing. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Here at Silverbacks Park in Atlanta, we have completed a half. And through 1 half of play, there's 1 goal scored, and that by the home team, the Atlanta Silverbacks. I'm Don Stevens, glad to have you along tonight. First half statistics are brought to you by Time Warner. Get all-in-one digital cable, Roadrunner, and digital phone. 1 simple package, 1 low price. Looking at the stats out of the first half, the Rhinos did score a goal, but it was called back offside, so it did not count. And then the Silverbacks came back, got one of their own, which did count. That in the 24th minute, and the goal was scored by Oka, his 3rd of the season. The former Rhino David Hayes assisting on the play. Oka from Hayes in the 24th minute, and the Silverbacks out to a 1-0 lead. That was the only goal scored in the first half of play. Unofficial stats, I had 7 shots for the Silverbacks and 6 for the Rhinos. And again, unofficially 7 shots for Atlanta, 6 for Rochester. In the corner kicks, the Rhinos had 2 and Silverbacks had 1. Offside, Rochester 5 and Atlanta 1 offside. So there's your unofficial stats for the first half of play. And that's where we're at now here at Silverback Stadium. It is a 1-0 lead for Atlanta. We'll be back with our intermission guest in a moment. Again, from Atlanta, the Silverbacks leading the Rhinos 1-0, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Back once again in Atlanta, where I think we're starting to get some rain coming down now. It looks like it's going to be coming down here pretty quick. And it is halftime where the Rhinos trail Atlanta by a 1-0 score. The Silverbacks scoring in the 24th minute. Tonight's intermission interview is brought to you by Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. Had an opportunity a little bit earlier today to sit down for a few minutes with the defender slash midfielder, mostly defender, I guess, Chris Aloisi with the Rhinos, first year here in Rochester, 26-year-old from North Babylon, New York, and talked with him, asked him first of all how he felt things are going so far this season.
Well, overall, I think as a team, I think we're still near the top of the table. A point, I think outside of first, though we have a couple games ahead on teams. As long as we're teetering around the top part of the table, I think we should be all right. So overall, as a team, we have some difficult times now with injuries and stuff like that. But with that said, we have a good group of guys that are always looking to play, chomping at the bit a little bit, and I think we should be fine and going, finishing the last stretch of the season, hopefully heading into the playoffs.
Individually, how do you feel?
Individually, I feel fine. I feel healthy now. I struggled through a couple injuries with a concussion and, ankle problem and calf problem. But overall now, I finally start to feel healthy. My fitness is back to normal, so I'm starting to play a little bit better and getting everything back going.
A few bumps for you. Is that something you've had to put up with in your career, or is this a first time for you? Or what?
No, overall, unfortunately, it's been a little bit something I have to get used to, in the course of the season. I think every season you go through a long period of time. You're going to get knocks and bruises and stuff like that and have a couple injuries here and there. So unfortunately, I've had to deal with it. But I think it's at the end, as long as you're fit toward the end of the season, I think that's the most important thing.
All right, now let's go back a little bit to the beginnings for you. Where are you from, and where did you begin playing soccer and so on?
Grew up in North Babylon, New York, which is in Long Island, probably about 6 hours from Rochester. Played out there my whole life. Went to school at Syracuse for 4 years, and then played 3 years in the MLS in LA, San Jose, and Houston, and then finally now up here in Rochester.
Right, so you're out west for several years, but you're certainly not new to the Rochester area then.
No, not at all. Growing up playing college ball in Syracuse, that's the first thing you hear about Rochester Rhinos, and being only an hour away and stuff like that. We played them in the spring season, and for our spring season, their preseason, and they have a great reputation, and an organization that's obviously built a very good reputation on winning, and something that in the back of your head you always have, especially growing up in the area or being in school in the area, you always have in the back of your head that you want to be a part of.
Then you went out west and you played in the MLS out there. How did that go for you?
Well, great experience. Obviously everybody would like to be, still get a couple more games in the MLS and stuff like that. But I thought, I was lucky enough to have some experience there. LA was a great city, great organization to play for, first class all the way, and the situation out there was great. The fans were great. San Jose was a good situation as well. The team ended up getting relocated down to Houston, so that was the only reason I ended up leaving the West Coast. But overall, the whole MLS experience was phenomenal, and a situation that I'll never forget.
Is that a goal for you right now to get back there?
Yeah, I think anybody's goal is to try to, wherever they're at, try to get to a level better, whether it be in a normal work situation or a sport. You want to get to the top level, whether it be in this country or another country. So, of course, you want to keep playing and try to, build yourself, reputation up and your abilities as long as they can take you to the next level. And obviously that would be the next goal, is to get back into there and get some major games in up there.
So then you have like a long-range goal, maybe even European soccer or whatever?
Yeah, ideally. As long as age-wise it fits. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 26 now. So, if age-wise it fits, MLS for a year or so and then Europe. But if not, like I said, I've had an experience playing a few years there and now in Rochester, and I've loved every bit of it, so I can't complain on that front anyway. So wherever it takes me, I'm, ready to go.
And talking with Chris Aloisi, the Rhino defender. We're at the half. It's a 1-0 lead for Atlanta over the Rhinos, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. From Atlanta, waiting the start of the second half between the Rhinos and the Atlanta Silverbacks. It is a 1-0 lead for Atlanta. Talking with Chris Aloisi, asked him if there was any other sports in his life where it was always soccer.
Baseball actually is my favorite sport. Growing up, baseball and soccer, I played both. My family's huge into baseball. But soccer-wise, it ended up working out better. I ended up, being a little more into it, being a little bit better at it. Season-wise, it worked out well, and, just went with it. And fortunately enough, by the luck and I think a little bit of luck and stuff like that, it worked out for me.
How far did you go in baseball?
not far, just high school. By high school you got to make a decision, pick a sport either way, and I think soccer was a sport for me at that point.
Are you a big sports fan? I mean, do you follow all sports, TV and magazines and everything?
Oh, huge sports fan. I mean, my ideal goal would be to own some sort of sports team, whether ideally a baseball team, but huge sports teams, huge every sport possible. Baseball is obviously my favorite with the Mets, but growing up in New York. But I mean, basketball and Boston Celtics and football with the New York Giants and stuff like that. I mean, being from New York, it's a big sports town, so of course you're going to follow all the other sports. And, my family's big into them as well, so.
Yeah. In soccer, you're a defender right now. Have you always been?
In college and growing up playing in the midfield. And then in college I slowly moved out into the center back situation, and then professionally I've been playing either as somewhere in the back usually. My first year in LA, played a little bit in the midfield as well, but mostly as a defender, occasionally as in the midfield.
Chris Aloisi of the Rhinos, as we're about to get underway with the second half of play from Atlanta. And stick with us for more. Rain looks like is coming on, so we'll see how far we get on this one. Again, at the half, it's a 1-0 lead for the Backs, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Well, as they line up for the start of the second half here at Silverbacks Park in Atlanta, it is starting to rain a little bit. The umbrellas are out, and they do see some lightning across the way, so we need to be advised that possibility of delays. Of course, with lightning, they usually will wait until the lightning is gone before they will start up again. The Rhinos now shooting the net to my right. And Nuno Santos is in goal to my left in his first USL First Division action as Atlanta scored one in the first half to take a 1-0 lead. Rhinos forwards, Severs and Menyonger, ready to kick off to start the second half of play. Again, Santos defending the net to my left. As we'll be getting underway, the referee taking a look at his watch, blows the whistle. And here we go now in the second half of play. We did see the referee, the officials talking with the coaches, so I'm assuming that they were talking about the possibility of a delay and what the procedure might be. Here we go now. The Rhinos will bring it away in upfield. On the right wing back of their own 35, Aloisi turning it off in the middle for Palguda. Draws it forward to the center circle. Looks and now switching to the outside of the left wing. Black out to across midfield on the left wing. It's the ball knocked it through. However, that's tipped aside and carried off by the Silverbacks and pushed away and out of bounds. Unable to get to it on the far wing as Hassim. And ball out, throw it at midfield on the far side. Oop, there's some big lightning. And the ball across midfield, deflected away on the near wing. In underneath it, nodded off toward the center circle, and Bolton after it. Drops it off in the center circle, brought away by Burns. Looking for the through ball, but it's blocked away and carried away by Butte of the Silverbacks. Spinning back in the center circle, will roll it off on the near wing for Hayes. Off the left wing side, across midfield. Drops it back to his own side of midfield for Rios. As he's pushed there by Menyonger trying to get away. Ball blocked along the near wing, and that is cleared off toward the middle, but picked up by McManus. Backs have it to the outside of the right wing and across midfield. Into Rhino territory. Long service through midfield and off on the near wing. Oka heads it along the 18 of the middle. Has taken down McManus. The whistle is blown and a penalty kick is awarded. PK is awarded as Antoniuk spinning around at around the 18, was taken down at the 16 rather, and so the penalty kick is awarded to Atlanta. Well, Rochester giving another golden opportunity here to the Silverbacks of this in the 47th minute. 47th minute. And who's going to take the kick? It looks like maybe it'll be Hayes. Hayes, the former Rhino, with 3 goals in the season. He'll be the one to take the penalty kick. Setting the ball. Santos in his first game facing a penalty kick. Hayes, a left-footed kicker. Santos with his feet on the line. We're in the 48th minute as Hayes backing up now. Set to go, comes away, left-footed kick, and he scores. Putting it just inside the post. Santos guessed right. Got a hand on it, popped it up in the air, and then it was tipped just inside the post. Couldn't clear it quite far enough away. So the Silverbacks now take a 2-0 lead. Hayes scoring his 4th of the season. Gives him a goal and an assist on the night, and now a 2-0 lead for Atlanta. Well, they beat the Rhinos first game 2-0. So the Rhinos getting set for the kickoff. They try and get back in as now they have a big hill to climb. Now remember earlier this week the Rhinos were down 2-0 to the New England Revolution and came back and tied it up at 2. Before New England finally went on to win in the last closing moments of the game. Right away, Kramer turning upfield to the outside. Of course, the Rhinos don't have Diallo with them. He's the one that did most of the damage. Now brought forward ball in the near corner of the box, lays it out the middle. Moving in, left-footed boot by Burns. Puts it in but wide. And out over the end line. A goal kick for the Silverbacks. Back for the kick. It looks like it'll be taken by Moore, the defender. 49th minute. Here in Atlanta in a 2-0 lead for the Silverbacks. Well, you talk about crowd at the top of the table. And it's only, a point between first and fifth place, or sixth place, I think it is, in the league. Locked forward on the midfield line, dropped back. Seattle had moved out to the top of the table. But there was a big log jam in second place. Down to the far end of the 18, turning back for it. The keeper will get to it. And McIntosh just chips it off into the corner. Rochester tied with Vancouver, Portland, Montreal. 4 teams tied for second. Just a point behind Seattle. 5 ahead of sixth place Atlanta. So the top 5 teams were just 1 point separating. And a little bit of a gap, but Atlanta making noises like they want to close that gap. Winning the last 3 and well on their way to winning it, making it 4 in a row. Throw it down inside the 18 and played off in the far corner once again. It's like Scheifele, taking the throw in. He's got a pretty good throw in. Line drive throw in down inside the 6. So that went out over the end line, creates a corner kick for the Rhinos. Rochester corner off the left wing side. Scheifele again serves it up, this time for the back post. Bolton heads it back in the middle. Up they go, and the 6 nodded away. Then Younger turns, right foot a kick in. It's backed up a one hop by McIntosh. And Younger got the shot away. 50th minute, now 51st minute here in Atlanta. McIntosh, high volley kick through midfield, coming down all the way down to the Rochester 25, headed aside by Palguda out on the near wing, and in underneath it is Kramer. Nods it back inside the box to Aloisi. Then first time it away. Up the right wing, ball flicks it ahead to the midfield line for Sievers, turning in behind, off in the center circle for Burns. As he attracts attention, draws it to the outside, up the right wing for Kramer across midfield. Rolling back into the center circle for Burns. Switching to the left wing side now for Shirley Black. Off in the far wing and across midfield. He'll serve it ahead. Sievers checking back, but the ball got away from him. And it's carried off, and then Sievers tackles it away. In the center circle, knocked loose by Ball. After it as he spins, trying to get it away from McManus, and does. On the left wing side, Ball drawing it ahead deep to the far corner. Left wing side, watched there by Hassim. His pass off. Scheifele right puts it down inside that on the frame, but grabbed by McIntosh. And the keeper will throw it out the near wing. Rhinos having a go at it from about 30 yards out. Pass along the near side. Yes, here come the Silverbacks. Across midfield, Hayes up the left wing. Oka turning back. Drops it off, but the pass will be picked off there by Kramer. Burns with it in the center circle. Left foots it away up the right side for Sievers. Spinning around near corner of the 18. Turns back, looking to get away from Lancaster. Rolls it ahead to the end line. After it there is Ball on the near wing. Turning back on the near side. Drops it off for Kramer. 20 yards out. A roller down along the 18 as Burns pushing it forward to make Younger. In behind, spinning, taking a shot away. Drops it off. Fulton with the right foot. It's blocked down. Rebound, they score! The Rhinos put it away. Rochester puts it away. As the Rhinos are on the board, trying to see who finally finished on that one. But a nice feed down inside. Ben Younger's pass out the left side was put inside the left post. And we'll have to figure out who it was that got the goal on that one. So the Rhinos in the 53rd minute have finally answered with a goal of their own. Well, for me, that's the far end of the field. That's a long ways away to try and see anybody down there. And scramble of bodies in front of the net. And who put it away, I just am not sure. A substitution for the Rhinos as Ray Martinez is now checking in, and it looks like Shirley Black is off. 53rd minute. 53rd, first sub of the night. Martinez is in, and Black is out. So it's now 2-1 as the Rhinos getting on the board, trying to get into the game here. Cross midfield. See, the Rhinos stepped it up a bit of a notch. His ball is taken down, and there's a yellow card being issued to Lancaster. Caution to Lancaster in the 53rd minute. First caution of the game. So it's a one-goal game now. Free kick for the Rhinos just across the midfield line. Rain coming down lightly. You can see it now in the lights. And the lightning seemingly has moved away a bit. There's a long service for the right post. Headed back toward the middle. Blocked outside the box. Burns tips it forward. Knocked down. Ball turns it to the right, but taken down with Severs. And the ball pushed outside the box on the near wing. That's put up into the stands. So the Rhinos will have a throw in on the near side, near midfield. 54th minute. One goal lead for Atlanta. Bolton with a throw in his own side of midfield to Palguda. Turns it through the center circle off on the left wing side for Aloisi. Rhinos now with three defenders. Palguda in the middle with Aloisi and Bolton on the outsides. A player came in with the studs exposed, so a foul is called and a free kick for Atlanta, their own side of midfield in the center circle. Rain again now starting to pick up a little bit here. Turned ahead to the outside on the far wing. Long chip down inside to the Rhino 18, Bolton, and it's headed away out top, dropped off. Aloisi with it again, now plays it out of the midfield, turned to the outside, Severs, and brought forward by Martinez up the left wing as he tries to escape. Ball on the far wing. As the ball brought forward, blocked away on the far wing, but continuing on now, down to the 20, and turned down inside the 18 as the rolling ball. Kramer after it doesn't get through it, and is pushed away out the near end of the box. Lancaster on it. Up the near wing for Rios. And midfield, and turning after it is Antonian, but Bolton knocks it away, and Palguda back for the ball. From his own 35, off to Aloisi. Drawing it ahead up the left wing side, but turning back again. Aloisi is bothered there. Leaves it for Burns. Trying to keep all of this equipment and everything covered up here as play goes on. The rain coming down. 56th minute. Ball over the far corner as two players tackling it. As rolls out over the end line. And it'll be a goal kick for the Silverbacks. Sponsors tonight include Phoenix Graphics for all your printing needs. Also, Food Link, Abundant Shared. And also sponsoring Farish Group. The best seat in the house is in your Farish apartment. See them all at farish.com. 53rd minute, or 56th minute now. As the Rhinos scored to get on the board to make it 2-1 at midfield. And the ball pushed forward, knocked aside by Burns. Chips him off in the center circle, and then Younger will bring it away. Turns it to the outside, bolted up the right wing and across midfield for Kramer. On the near wing, chasing behind by Rios as it bumps and knocked down is Kramer, and the foul is called. Did we ever get a goal scorer for the Rochester goal? Severs got the goal. All right, Chad Severs with his first in First Division play gets the goal for the Rhinos. Severs puts it away. A forward tonight for the Rhinos. Free kick for the Rhinos, 25 yards out off the right wing side. Burns with the right foot, goes to the back post, and it's flicked away out the far end of the box. And it'll be out of play. Off in the far wing, a throw in deep on the left wing corner for the Rhinos. 57th minute, 2-1 in favor of Atlanta. As the Silverbacks scored one in the first half, and then they took a 2-0 lead on a penalty kick. Rhinos have answered that and make it a one-goal game again. Spin around along the end line, put it back in front, but pushed away out of the box on the far side. Up into the stands, and it is in the corner and knocked out. Throw in for the Silverbacks. Moore over for the throw in. In the corner, Bobo with the right foot drives it out to the midfield line. There it's blocked away from Oka and picked up in the center circle by the Rhinos. Burns drawing it forward, turning back to the left foot side. To the outside along midfield. Aloisi has it on the far side of the field. Drops it to his own side of midfield. Palguda will try back on the near wing for Bolton across midfield at the right wing. Bringing it down to the 40. Pass off in the middle. Then Younger, but doesn't get down. He does. Tips it to the outside, chasing after it. Dropped off on the near wing and a chip down to the 18. Kramer in behind. Can't get loose. And the ball then is booted high in the air downfield by Hayes. Back for it. Aloisi gets the right toe on it to draw it aside. He'll spin it out on the far wing. Drop back safely for Aloisi, his own side of midfield. In the middle, Palguda with the left foot hammers it out through midfield. Kramer in, nods it off in front, trying to break in behind Sievers. Knocked down to the 18, moving in. Ball with the chip shot. Oh, it's into the midsection of McIntosh, and he holds on. Ball done. He had the left side, but McIntosh got back up and recovered nicely. So Rochester picking up the pace here in the second half. As the ball downfield and out of play, and so a throw in on the far side for the Rhinos from their own 35. Tipped away on the far wing, carried off, and a pass upfield. That comes loose on the near side. Rios moving in from the 18, takes his shot. He scores. The Rhinos got all tangled up and left Rios wide open. He moved across the 18 on the left side, puts it just inside the post, and the Silverbacks regain their 2-goal lead. Atlanta goal in the 59th minute. As the Rhinos losing shape in their own end of the field, Rios scoring his first. And Atlanta takes now a 3-1 lead. So, Rhinos have been battling back, and seemingly we're starting to take the game away a little bit, and certainly have the majority of play, and then a big mistake. Of course, that happens when you start pushing forward, pushing everybody up. You leave your own end exposed, which happened right there. And the Silverbacks take advantage as they take a 3-1 lead. Rios getting the goal. And Antoniuk with the assist. So Antoniuk picks up another league-leading 18th point. Antoniuk leading the league coming into the night with 17 points. Now picks up an assist, so has 18 on the season. All right, on the restart, a foul is called. Hayes from his own 35, pushing it to the outside on the right wing. And approaching midfield as we're now into the 60th minute. Long service downfield. Headed it back to block it away. Off the chest, and Love puts it out through midfield. Seavers in underneath it, but that's in turn tipped aside and carried off by the Silverbacks. On the near wing, backward Kramer from his own 18 on the near side. Pass ahead into the center circle for Martinez. Turning to get away, as of the midfield line, looking for the through ball. Rolls it to the outside on the left wing side. Drop back in the middle for Burns once again. He'll look toward the middle, can't get a pass away. Gives it off to Alguda. Rolls it off to the near side. And to the outside along the near wing for Kramer. Dropping it back for Manyonger. Pushing it forward with the right foot. Sends it down to the 18, but headed away and out top. Settled there by Burns. One touch ahead. Ball dropping, or make that Martinez dropping it back. Near midfield for Aloisi. He looks for the return pass to Martinez. Spinning around. Drops it back center circle once again. This time Falguda up with it. Works to the left side, going deep to the far corner. After Shifley in the corner. Will he get there in time? Yes, he does. On a high chip. Crossing to the back end of the 6. And in underneath it. The ball tipped along the 6, but blocked away and out of the box by Hayes. Hold up the near wing by Rios, and his roller out to midfield for Mocha. In the center circle. Tries the right wing side as the ball brought forward by the Silverbacks. On the attack, Antoniuk to the outside on the near wing. Once again, Rios along the 18. As he'll backheel it on the near side for Hayes, and across along the 6. Backhander, now hit ball up over top of the end line, and out of play by Oka. Goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include the Distillery, now open in Greece at Ridge Road and 390. By Dodge, grab life by the horns. And by Connors and Ferris, workers' comp and Social Security attorneys. Call 262-COMP. Goal kick for the Rhinos. All right, so we have change for the Rhinos here in the 62nd minute. Novak is in. And out is Danny Kramer. 62nd minute. Rhinos have only one more player available for substitution. That's Ryan Wildman, who's just coming off of a leg injury and has not seen any action. I'm not sure if he's going to be brought in or not, but the Rhinos had actually only 3 field substitutes possible for tonight. Of course, the other one being goaltender Chase Harrison. Ball through midfield, and the far wing is pushed out of bounds. Rhinos at home next Saturday to take on the Seattle Sounders. Saturday at Paytech Park. It's passed up the left wing side, deep to the far corner, as the ball is drawn out of the corner and carried away by the Silverbacks out to near midfield, but stepping in underneath it is Aloisi. Johnson to his own side of midfield, where it's taken there by Palguda. And from midfield to Burns. To the outside, Aloisi on the left wing and across midfield. Shifley on the left wing side, down to the 18, moving toward the far end of the 18. Has the ball knocked loose, got away from him as he's double teamed and carried out by McManus. Drops it back to the keeper. McIntosh will right-footed way up into the stands on the far side of the field. Actually, no, it bounced down inside the touchline and still kept in play. Played perfectly out to the midfield line. Right away up the wing, and Asim on the right side. Palguda back. Asim stepping over on the ball, plays it along the 18 in the middle for Antoniuk. Spin shot, and puts it wide right out over the end line. So a spin around shot by Antoniuk goes wide. Second half now. They have each team with 5 shots. That's unofficial. Unofficial in the game. Goal kick for the Rhinos. Santos rolling into the outside. 64th minute in Atlanta, and the Rhinos are trailing 3-1. Aloisi off toward the middle for Palguda. Drops it back. Bringing it forward. Santos outside the 18. Again on the left wing side for Aloisi. Drawing it forward up the left wing. Aloisi back toward the middle. Lays it off in the middle. His rolling ball into the center circle. Then Younger, but it's knocked aside again. Spinning around. Burns is grabbed onto and taken down, but no call. Play goes on. In the middle to the center circle. Moving up is Rios. Rolls it to the outside, and overlapping ahead on the near wing is Hayes. On the left wing side, bringing it down. Pushing it to the outside of the near wing. Near into the box. Crossed by Butte down in front, but booted away by Palguda into the stands on the near side. Throw in for the Silverbacks from the Rochester 18 on the near wing. Hayes moving over for the throw-in. Rios back to the outside for Hayes. Chips it up in the air, comes down to the end line, off of Rios and out over the end line. A goal kick once again for the Rhinos. Again, sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Doyle Chevrolet Buick. They always say yes. Time Warner. Get all in one. Digital cable, digital phone, and Roadrunner. One package, save hundreds. And by Free Time Magazine, Western New York's art and entertainment guide. Through midfield, that's chipped across midfield and all the way down by Hayes, and in behind is Antoniuk. Find a head at the side, bouncing down the 18, shot in, off the post, and it comes out the near side. Antoniuk still got a shot away, hit the post, and carried off by the Rhinos. Novak ahead for ball to the outside and left wing for Aloisi. Globs it off there and moving forward now. Off the right wing and across midfield. Pass off to Shifley, but played away on the far wing. Knocked down there. Aloisi at midfield toward the middle for Burns. Turning around with the right foot wheel, deliver downfield. Hayes back for it. Spins away to the outside to get away from ball and works up the left wing. On the near side, left puts it through midfield. Ball knocked out in the center circle. That's played along the midfield line. Ahead now as it is Butte to turn it away on the far wing and across midfield. Into Rhino territory here in the 66th minute for a 3-1 lead for the Silverbacks. Almost made it 4-1 as they hit the post with another shot. Now that ball through. Turning in on the left side. Butte with a shot. Rolling kick saved by Santos. Got the right foot on it. Back down along the 10. Oka trying to bring it in front. Bumped down at the 6 on the near side. Roller in and diving for it. Santos pushed it out over the end line. Santos diving in behind and got his right hand on it to tip it from 3 yards out and out over the end line. Oh, a couple of huge saves right there for Nuno Santos. So the Silverbacks tasting blood here as they are pounding away in a corner kick off the near wing for the Silverbacks. Rios to take the corner. Off the left wing side. Down inside. That's headed up in the air. And foul is called, so it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos. So Santos coming up with a couple of huge saves, back-to-back saves right there. Got the right foot on the first shot, and a diving save with his right hand, able to tip it wide of the net. Looks like there is a substitution coming up as Shifley is out and Wildman is in now for the Rhinos here in the 68th minute. Wildman is in, and Shifley is out. So that's the final substitution that's available for the Rhinos tonight. Aaron Lyons is along on the trip, but he is injured and can't play. Kicked downfield by Santos through midfield, then Younger with a flick for it. Nodded off into the middle and turned off in the middle, but that's blocked aside. after Martinez turned away to the outside. Hayes up the left wing and up through midfield. Stepping in is Bolton. Knocks it down the midfield line. To the outside again. Martinez to Novak up the right wing deep to the corner. Unable to get to it his ball as the ball rolls out over the touchline. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. 5 yards out. Or no, it's going to be for Atlanta. And the throw in along the near side. Novak heads it back. Up the right wing side to the corner is Martinez being chased there by Butte. Deep to the corner looking for a cross. It rolls out over the end line as Martinez is taken down. And the ball gets away, and it'll be a corner kick now for the Rhinos. Corner kick off the right wing. Looks like the rain may be stopping a little bit. Seems to be less, at least blowing in underneath here. And you can still see it coming down, but maybe the wind, it's pretty still, so it's not blowing inside. All right, corner kick. Down inside, but that's flicked away out of the box in the far wing, in underneath it. Chased down there by the Rhinos, and shot back inside the box. Knocked down again, a hit ball, but grabbed off the line by the keeper McIntosh, who throws it out on the near side quickly to Rios. On the left wing and across midfield on the quick break. Turns it back in the middle for Olcott. Drops it to the outside again for Rios. Left puts it all the way ahead to Antoniuk in the middle. Flicks it away to the outside, but there's no help there. And the ball is out of bounds. A throw in on the far side for the Rhinos. From their own 25. Throw it along the middle for Younger. He checks back, drops it off. And the rolling ball pulled away upfield by Rochester on the near side. Bolton from his 35 into the middle. Gives it out there to Burns. Younger dropping it back again on the near side and up the right wing. Cross midfield, turn to the outside for Novak. Draws it ahead, long chip to the right wing corner. Underneath the ball, trying to backheel in front, but that got away from him, rolled out over the end line. And it is actually blocked away and out over the end line by the Silverbacks, so it'll be a corner kick once again for the Rhinos. Looks like Wildman will move over to take the corner kick. 70th minute. 70th minute here in Atlanta at Silverbacks Park. Corner kick, right wing side, right-footed kicker, outswinger. Service through the box, the backside. Headed up in the air. Bolton in underneath the left foot, so he rockets it up over top of everything. I think he put that one into the next county. He got underneath that one, to say the very least. 71st minute. And a 3-1 lead for Atlanta. Silverbacks scored in the first half. And then in the second half, added a penalty kick goal, scored by David Hayes. But then Rochester got going and put one away to make it 2-1, and seemingly had turned the momentum. However, a little loose play in their own end of the field, and that gave the Silverbacks the third goal, and once again the 2-goal lead. And seems like Atlanta's on the attack since then, and moving in. That's pushed forward, a long chip downfield, but bounces just wide as Oka got the right foot on it. Santos was way out to the 18, but Oka got to it first, and he chipped it over Santos, but put it wide. Santos out the left side. Aloisi drawing it away up the wing, turning back for it. Picked up by Wildman. A little more lightning now as the ball is dropped back once again and recovered inside of his 18 by Aloisi and pushing it ahead for Falguda. Beginning to bring it away. Turns it to the outside up the right wing for Bolton. Looks back in the center circle, drops it off there for Falguda. Left puts it through midfield. Seaver stumbled going for the ball, and it's recovered by McManus, but now moving in. Push forward ahead for Younger, switching from side to side. Draws it out on the right wing for Seavers, and the ball is tackled away and played off by Butte on the far wing. And with it, Hassim spinning around up the right wing and across the midfield line. Being chased there, tripped up, goes down, foul is called. Free kick for Atlanta, just across the midfield line into Rochester territory. 72nd minute. Don't forget the Rhinos are at home next Saturday to meet the Seattle Sounders, and hopefully some bodies will be back in the lineup. Diallo should be returning. John Ball, however, will be gone next weekend as he heads out to Rio for the futsal tournament. Locked away in the far wing and carried out by Wildman. Turns it to the outside and up the right wing. It's brought away by Novak on the attack and across midfield. Novak, one of those injured players, trying to get some time in here, even though he's been injured. Off of the middle, turning back. Wildman once again spinning around, giving it off the ball, 35 yards out. Works back toward the middle, pass on the right side to Martinez. Pushing to the outside of the box, giving it the ball, turning inside, rolling along the line, but blocked away off of the corner, and Martinez gets through it. Looks like a corner kick almost. That picks it up out of the corner. Draws it back up top, Bolton. From 35 yards out, pass off into the middle, taken by Burns. Back near midfield, Palguda to the left wing side for Aloisi. Trying it ahead, down with the right foot, chips it down inside the box, but up in the air to bring it down at his 3. Here's the keeper, McIntosh. Oh, Aloisi goes for the frame, and McIntosh brings it away. 74th minute here in Atlanta. High kick through midfield by McIntosh. Coming down, Aloisi heads it back off into the middle. Antoniuk, he's a big boy, and he obviously takes up a lot of territory. He commands certainly a lot of respect in the middle. Played in Montreal the last couple of years. Antoniuk at 6'4", 190 pounds, a 26-year-old from Philadelphia. Leading the league coming into tonight with 17 points. Picks up an assist here, has 18 now. Foul is called on the Rhinos. It'll be a free kick 35 yards out directly in the middle for the Silverbacks. Hayes to take the kick. Hayes, the left-footed kicker, is set. Moves in, goes for the frame, and he puts it high over top of the crossbar and out. So Frame takes a crack, Hayes takes a crack at it from there. 35 yards out, but goes high. 75th minute. Goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Nagel, Rochester's full-service realtor, and Perry's Ice Cream, Life's a Bowl of Perry's. All of those have sponsored these broadcasts all season long and make the broadcasts of these games possible. Santos with a kick. Out the right wing side, out to midfield. Flick forward by Novak, but that's loose on the other side, and Atlanta will volley it through midfield. Headed back toward the middle. Aloisi and Oka turning away and spinning away and behind is Aloisi, but the foul was called on Oka, so a free kick for the Rhinos from their own 18. Santos with the right foot. Low drive kick through midfield. Severs up, flicks it ahead down to the 18, and back to pick it up. Bobo lets it roll inside the 18, and first time to get away is McIntosh, the keeper. But to Burns at midfield and on the right side to Novak. Drawing it forward, looking for the return pass down inside, but that got away from Menyonger. Then he spins, blocked the ball down, turned, trying to get away as he's tangled up, and Menyonger up with it still. Pass ahead. Running behind, ball has bounced away from the ball and is pushed out the far side. Carried away by the Silverbacks, 76th minute. Here in Atlanta, long right foot, a kick downfield. Palguda back, gets the foot on it, tip it aside out of bounds. Throw in on the far side for the Silverbacks from the Rochester 35. Rod forward. Again on the throw in. Off the right side along the far touchline. Taken away. Chipped upfield by Wildman. Ahead for Burns. Left foot to the head to midfield. Ball is bumped and the ball is knocked aside. Oka drops it off. Butte. Pass ahead for Antoniuk at the Rochester 25 in the middle. Lays it out on the outside. Butte to the near wing, and moving up on the left wing is Hayes. Drawing it down to the 18. 15, 10, looking for the cross. Novak gets the foot on it, blocks it away and out of bounds. So in the near corner for the Rhinos. And Rochester at home on Saturday, the 21st, against the Seattle Sounders. And it's a Schleigel's Family 4-pack night. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas for $64. It's also Irish night. Come on down, enjoy Irish music and dancers. Now through, Oka breaking in, chips it in, missed wide left. Out diving for the shot was Santos, and Oka tried to chip but puts it wide left as the angle was taken away. Oka comes loose down inside the 18. Again, the Rhinos having a lot of trouble covering up inside their own area here tonight. And Bolton playing back from the midfield into a defensive position as the Rhinos don't have any more defenders available. And it seems to have been a bit of a problem as the right side has been suspect on the defensive row. Certainly not blaming any one person because obviously the forwards have to come back and help out too. Ball is played back inside the box and out to scoop it up as McIntosh from his 6. Communications are not there like they have been. 78th minute, 3-1 lead for Atlanta. Ball flighted through midfield. Headed in the air, flicked down to the 18, nodded back by Aloisi to the keeper. Santos has it. Rolls it ahead to Aloisi outside the 18 on the far wing. Rain continuing to fall, but it's pretty much straight down as the flags are hanging limp here, so really no breeze. Alguda rolls it ahead up the right side. Bolton, now as he approaches midfield, feeds it forward and continuing on, Burns across the midfield line to the outside. Bolton with it. Looking for the pass through, but that's picked off and dropped off, and Hayes will just bang it away through midfield. Antoniuk in behind, but blocked away from him by Bolton. The Rhinos have it. Pass ahead, Ben Younger at the midfield line, spinning to get away. And Younger up the right side to the outside for Novak. Has to turn and reach for the ball. Comes up with it. Ball on the near touchline. Still has it. Fakes a kick. Now pulls it forward in the middle to Younger. Drawing it forward down to the 20. Turns it back along the midfield line or on the 18-yard line to Wildman. And the players go down. The ball is blocked away and booted out on the near side. And at the left wing for Rios. Rolls it across midfield. It's moved by Bolton. Sliding in, trying to tackle it away with Burns, but couldn't reach it. Rios still up the near side to the 18. The cross down along the 18 for the right side. Oka knocked it down. As moving it was Moore, and Oka actually tipped it in behind Moore. He couldn't get the shot away. Down to the outside of the right wing once again. Moore with it. Dumps it on top. Oka at the far corner of the 18. Turns, look, shot blocked away by Wildman. And after go the Rhinos. Out the far wing, carried away, and upfield. On boot across midfield to the right side for Martinez. Into Atlanta territory, near corner of the 18 now, as he steps over on the ball, but that got away from him on the other side and carried off by Rios. Drops it back for Hayes, and with a foot just hammers it out through midfield. Rhinos get back to it, to nod it away and across midfield. Aloisi on the attack. Turns it to the outside on the left wing. Right for ball on the 18. Right foot, a kick in, but deflected up in the air and out over the end line. That off of the Silverbacks. It should be a corner kick for the Rhinos. 80th minute here in Atlanta. 80th minute and a 3-1 lead for the Silverbacks. Another corner for Rochester. Atlanta scored in the first half to take a 1-0 lead at the half. Penalty kick made it 2-0 in the second half. Rhinos got on the board to make it 2-1, but then the 3-1 goal was scored by Atlanta in the 59th minute. Long service down inside the box, goes wide out over the end line. Knocked away by the Silverbacks, so another corner kick for the Rhinos, this time off the right wing side, so Wildman has to go all the way from one side of the field to the other. Wildman seeing his first action, had been injured. Set for the kick, right-footed kicker. Wildman 5'10", 180, a 23-year-old from Dallas out of St. Louis University. Sends it for the back post, high service out the other side. Deflected away and out of the box, brought away by the Silverbacks. Rio sends it out across midfield on the near wing. Aloisi after it. We'll get to it first. Across midfield on the near side. Gives it off. Wildman moving up. 40, 30. Now goes for the left post inside. That's headed away on the far side out over the end line. Once again, a corner for the Rhinos. Rochester trying to apply pressure to get back in this one. Corner off the left wing side. Wildman once again will move over for the corner. We're in the 81st minute. Wildman, right-footed kicker. This will be an in-swinging kick. Second and last meeting of this year between these two. High across through the 6 out the near side, and that's then blocked back inside and booted in to the box by Ball, but then booted away and out near midfield after Rios in underneath it. Turns along across the midfield line. Giving it off to Hasim to the outside for Oka. They head down to the Rochester 35, and he'll send the ball through. Hasim inside the box, far in. They got away from him, rolled out over the end line. Goal kick for the Rhinos. Now the 82nd minute. Atlanta on a 2-goal lead, 3-1. So Oka is out, and substitution coming up here. And as Ravillo is in, a substitution in the 82nd minute is the first sub of the match for the Silverbacks. The 82nd minute. All right, as pace picks up again at midfield, right-footed through midfield. Into Rhino territory, Antoniuk knocks it down at midfield, but their man Younger giving it off. Wildman up the left wing side, got away with the ball across midfield. Wildman to the 35, looking back in the middle. He runs into Bobo, and the ball is knocked away on the far wing out of midfield. Hasim turning right across midfield, blocked away by Burns. Ball recovered by the Rhinos. Aloisi laying it ahead near midfield from Younger to the outside again. Aloisi across the midfield line. Stuck through in the middle. Sievers after it there. Sievers scoring his first of the season tonight for the Rhinos. As it's sent through the box up the near side. Headed back in front. Martinez knocked down. But nobody could get a shot away. That was actually not a back in front for Novak to Martinez, but couldn't get a hold of the ball, and it's played out the far wing across midfield. On the attack now. Hasim bringing it up. And Aloisi trying to get back. Hasim, as he slows up at the 18. Over along the 18, turns back toward the middle, trying to get a left-footed kick away, and he does. It puts it high and wide left out over the end. Oh, the Silverbacks get another shot away. 83rd minute, 3-1 lead. Actually, I guess it was deflected away by the Rhinos, so it'll be a corner kick for Atlanta. Corner on the left wing side. Ordinarily, it'd have been Rios to take the kick, but can't see who it is. They're underneath me. I'm in scaffolding up here in the corner, and they're down underneath. I suppose if I stood up, I'd be able to see it. All right, that is Reveal to take the kick. Right foots it through the box on the far end, and in underneath it goes Palguda. Lets it roll out, throw in deep in the far corner. Now the rain is really starting to come down. Throw in, down inside the box. And it's taken there by Aloisi. He'll then play it out on the near wing and ahead for Novak. 84th minute in Atlanta. Pass along to the center circle, carried forward by Bolton. To the outside on the left wing and across the midfield line. Wildman hammers it down on the near side, but headed away from the 18 by Hayes for Rios. Turning back for the ball, and he'll draw it up the near side out to midfield. Throws it across midfield. Antoniuk there, but the ball is booted away and out by Aloisi as he stuck the foot in underneath him. Throw in on the near side for the Silverbacks from the Rochester 45. Rios is going to take the kick. The ref says no, it's a throw in. So Hayes moves up for the throw in. On the near wing, Rios dropping it back to the outside. Hayes left it forward. Knocked down by Antoniuk. As the ball is pushed forward. Reveal, backhanded kick here, or rather a back heel, and diving out on it, Santos got a hold of it, as going for the ball was Butte, collided with Santos, and I think it was knee to up around the nose on Santos, the knee of the defender, and he's cramping up, and Reveal will come over to stretch him out. I believe that's Butte. It's down, and the collision with Santos, as he collided there with Santos, and the right knee seems to be the problem. 86th minute from Atlanta. And a 3-1 lead for Atlanta as Butte now is up. Wasted enough time, and nice back heel by Reveal, sending Butte down inside. Getting to it, Santos, and he's still bothered by that in the collision. I think he got clipped in the nose with a knee. Still checking as the ball now is brought away, and Burns out across the midfield line. Long service up the right wing. Back for it, Hayes will left-foot it away, but ball in turn blocks it forward, down inside the 18 as they scramble with the ball, and McIntosh out at his 6 grabs it and holds on. So the keeper taking his time. With the right foot, low kick through midfield off of the far wing. Butte draws it forward as he pops it over top of Palguda trying to get in behind. Palguda drops it back for Santos, trying to play it to the outside. It got knocked down by Butte, and Santos has to dive on it. To come up with the ball, almost gave it away there. Santos will roll it ahead out of the box. Has not been a good evening here for the Rhinos tonight, as maybe was expected with all of the injuries that the team has had, certainly. Very tough time right now for the Rhinos. They have 8 or 9 players are out injured. Knocked down, and they whistle to stop play and a restart for the Silverbacks. Westhoff about 20 yards out, 87th minute here in Atlanta, and a 3-1 lead for the Silverbacks. Long across midfield, up to midfield on the near side for Hayes. Pulls it back, Rios to the outside, and Hayes going to give and go up the left wing along the near side. Antoniuk spinning it behind, tackled away and out by Palguda. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos, for the Silverbacks 18 yards out on the near side. 87th minute. Reveal moving up for the throw-in. Goes short to Rios. on the left wing. Sends it down along the 18. Palguda back, nods to the side to make that Wildman. And turning back for it, Hasim will drop it out top, 35 yards out on the right wing side. Long service down inside, but Palguda there nods it away out of the box once again. Butte tipping into the outside. Ball knocked it down, but Butte up with it again. Far corner of the box, pushing it to the end line, but he won't get to it. It'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos. 88th minute now here in Atlanta. And a substitution coming up, as it looks like Hasim will be out and Quealy will be checking in. Hasim will be exiting in the 88th minute. And Quealy will be in for Atlanta's second sub of the match. Just a bit of a time waster there as the clock clicks past 88. Time running out of the Rhinos, but of course trailing 3-1. It's a tough task right now. And brought forward the Rhinos with coming into the match with one forward, Sievers, and three defenders, having to put Minyonger up front as a forward and moving Bolton back to defensive position. Out of the midfield on the left wing side, Minyonger drawing it down, has it 15 yards out, double team trying to sneak through with the ball and kicked away out top. In underneath it, settled there, Bolton right foots, and it just squeezes wide to the right post. And bending away from the keeper, but just bouncing wide and spinning out wide right of the post. So a goal kick for the Silverbacks in the 89th minute. Bobo coming back to take the kick. Schedule for the Rhinos considerably lighter over the next couple of weeks. One game a week for the next couple of weeks, and maybe a chance to get some of the bodies returned. Pushed away across midfield, moving in underneath it. Novak blocking it forward up the right wing for Sievers. He bites it back, but booted into the stands by Hayes and out. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos, 20 yards out. Taken by Novak. Throw in to the corner. Knocked down by Sievers. Has to hustle to get to it, then it's blocked away and out. So it'll be a throw in the right wing corner once again for Novak. Goes to the throw in near into the box. Minyonger turning side to side, lays it along the end line, looking for the cross in front, blocked away, gets it back again, another cross, booted out over the end line, or headed away over the end line by Lancaster. Corner kick for the Rhinos. Atlanta looking to make it 4 in a row here. As we approach the 90-minute mark. Right footed kick, low corner kick inside, but booted away off the far wing and back on the near side again. Another cross by Wildman, this time got away from him. Way out over top of everything over the end line. Clock is stopped. 3 minutes of additional time, 3 minutes of injury time. So a goal kick for the Silverbacks. It's actually taken by the defender Moore. He slipped as he took the kick. Ball across midfield, flicked off of the far wing, and underneath it, Palguda puts it up into the stands. Another corner kick. Or rather, throw-in on the far side of the field, that is for the Silverbacks. Atlanta throw-in from the Rochester 30 on the far side. Going to the corner, trying to get it to it, and behind is Quealy, but knocked away off of Quealy and out, so a throw-in deep from the near side on the far side of the field for the Rhinos. Throw-in Palguda for Aloisi. Right puts it out through midfield. That's knotted down on the far wing again. Right away. Throw in for the Rhinos up the left wing side. Spinning around Bobo, able to play it back toward midfield. Taken by Ravillo and through the center circle on the near wing. Cross midfield is Antoniuk. Off the left wing side. Drawing it down to the Rochester 35. 25. Watched there by Palguda. Back helping out as Novak drops it on top for Rios. Plays it back to the midfield line. Hayes. Off into the middle along his 35 to Lancaster, and he'll just then roll it back to the keeper, and McIntosh will first time it away. Up in the air, coming down the center circle. Burns blocks it forward off the head ball. It's flicked to the side by Sievers. But picking it up once again, the Silverbacks. On the near wing and out the midfield, Rios up the left wing side. Cross midfield. Roller back toward the middle, where it's taken by Ravillo, trying to spin it through in front, and a give and go from Antoniuk. On the near wing, Ravillo getting to it. Up the left wing, the near end of the box. Switching back to the right foot, rolls along the 18 for Rios. Tried the back heel to Antoniuk, spinning, rolling, and he scores. Puts it just inside the left post. Antoniuk rolls it along the pitch, just inside the left post, and in stoppage time now the Silverbacks take a 4-1 lead. fourth goal scored by Atlanta in stoppage time. As Antoniuk coming up with a goal, and all of a sudden this place starts to leak from above. It's starting to leak pretty good from above. So now, as the end of the game approaches, ball brought away and out back near the midfield line, taken by Ball. Antonio gets the goal. And Rios gets the assist. At midfield, ball knocked out of the far wing as the ball is pushed out of bounds on the far side. There's seconds remaining, and there's the whistle, and this one is over. So the bleeding will stop here for the Rhinos tonight as they are struggling under the current situation, and I wonder why, huh? All right, final score tonight from Atlanta. The Atlanta Silverbacks 4 and the Rochester Rhinos 1. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Well, the rain's coming down big time now here in Atlanta as the Rhinos fall to the Atlanta Silverbacks. 4-1 is the score of the Silverbacks now with 4 straight victories, and they're moving up the ladder. Quick run through on what happened in tonight's game. The Silverbacks scored first, 24th minute. Goal was scored by Oka, his third of the year. Hayes assisting, and this puts Atlanta out 1-0. Rios, he'll step over and now draws it off to the end line, and Hayes moving in. Cross counter front, poached away by Santos up the near wing. Blocked out to the 20. Spin around and a shot, and they score. Out with the ball was Oka. Got spun around. Santos was still down on the pitch. And the shot inside the left post, and the Silverbacks take first blood.
Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to the Zweigels out-of-town scoreboard and standings. If you're just tuning in, the final score from Silverback Stadium, the Atlanta Silverbacks 4, the Rochester Raging Rhinos 1. And very disappointing results for fans in Rochester, no doubt about that. Looking at the standings now in the USL First Division, the Rhinos still at 27 points. They played the most games in the USL First Division. They have 19 games played. Their record is 7 wins, 6 losses, 6 ties. 26 goals for, 26 goals against Atlanta. 25 points in 16 games played, 7-5-4. They've scored 25 and given up 18. Other scores on the Zweigels out-of-town scoreboard. Under 20 World Cup quarterfinals, a game that Soccer Sam was at today. USA falling to Austria 2-1 in extra time. Major League Soccer, Dallas DC 3-3 draw. New England 1-0 over the New York Red Bulls. KC 1-0 over Real Salt Lake, and a 10:30 kickoff. Columbus is at Chivas. When we come back, it'll be the Heineken Direct call-in show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. We will take your phone calls. The number is 346-3000 or star 1040. It's a free call on the Verizon Wireless. We'll take your calls as well there. The final score from Atlanta, the Silverbacks 4, the Rhinos 1. Stick around. The Heineken Direct call-in show is next. Welcome to the Heineken Direct call-in show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. I'm Joe Giuliano. Soccer Sam joining us, and the whirlwind soccer fan himself joining us now. Soccer Sam, what a day you've had.
Had a fantastic day. Got to go to Toronto and watch the USA. An amazing game. Unfortunately, they lost, but what a game. And got to get here on time to see the Rhino game and listen to Don Stevens. And Joe, my question to you is, when was the last time a goalkeeper has given up 8 goals in 2 games? This poor guy. Imagine his family calls him from Portugal. No, so what's going on over there? No, so I gave up 8 goals in 2 games. What kind of team are you on?
I know. Let's get serious though about Santos. Sam, what do I say here? I feel bad for him. I don't blame him for a lot of these goals tonight. PK, I think the defense in front of him was atrocious.
Well, you can say that, Joe, but honestly, I mean, they said they brought him in because they need the leadership back there.
Right.
PK can't do anything about.
Right.
But some of the other goals that we saw here tonight, especially the last one, I mean, guys are just wide open.
Yeah.
It's your job as a goalkeeper. You have the vision. You have the vision to see who's coming at you. You got to talk to your guys, and I'm not sure if that's really happened. I feel bad for him too, but 8 goals in 2 games, 4-1 loss tonight. This team, I'm really, really nervous.
Give us a call, folks, 346-3000, star 1040. As Soccer Sam said, the Rhinos giving up 4 goals. Looking at the scoring, 24th minute, Warren Oka scoring David Hayes with the assist. Santos made a first save, left the rebound there. Oka was there to knock it in. No defensive help. 48th minute, Antoniuk pulled down by Pelguda in the box. David Hayes, PK goal. 51st minute, Josh Bolton, one of the only things he did right tonight. Hard shot, rebound. Chad Sievers is there to knock it in. I think Bolton had a very disappointing night once again for the Rhinos. 59th minute, Rios. The whole Rhinos defense on that goal, Sammy, shifted to one side of the pitch. Antoniuk draws the crowd and then shifts it back over to the near side. Rios 1v1 with Santos, goal. And then 90th minute, Antoniuk, how many defenders were around him?
You're right.
4?
At least 4.
So I do bring the point that Santos does have to organize his defense better, but it's going to take more than 2 games for him to be able to communicate. He's had a bunch of different players in there.
I mean, all the injuries, I guess you could blame it on that, but I'm not buying it because we've talked about this for years now. We got a younger team. We're developing talent. I mean, we saw Bolton have great games at times. Ambersley and Novak Chad Sievers got the goal tonight, but did he do much more?
Nothing.
He did nothing. And that's what worries me is these young guys. I mean, we're concerned about our fan base and how to get these fans in. I mean, these young guys, here's your chance.
Yeah.
You're part of the biggest organization in American soccer. Here's your chance to shine. You got to kick it in. You got to put in next gear. I mean, Aaron Lyons, I think, was the biggest loss we had tonight in the middle. He controls the middle of the field. He's more of a leader back there. And, the whole Ray Boom Boom thing, I still don't get it. I mean, is he that out of shape where, without insulting anybody on the field, Ray 90 minutes with one leg is better than some of the guys that are out there right now.
And I'm starting to believe in that as well. I'm not trying to make excuses here for Santos, but I think the guys that have been in front of him have just played terrible. Absolute awful defending. So I kind of give him another game, 2, 3, 4 games to get himself going and organized, because one game you got these 4 guys in front of you. The next game, Pelguda is the only guy that was there last game. So, you don't know what's going on. You're in a new country, new guys, and very poor defending. So I don't blame him just yet. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Joe, now, what's the deal with these injuries? I mean, back in the day, guys would play with broken arms, broken legs. You just get out there. You play your heart out. It's your game. You love it. We got guys with stomach flus and stomach cramps and minor hamstring tweaks. I mean, you got to play the game. You got to tape it up, spray something on it. You got to go out there and play. This is your team. I don't remember this many injuries in a season in a short period of time ever. And then this Diallo guy. I mean, it's like owning a restaurant and your chef says, "Hey, Friday night I have to go take care of some problems." You go on Monday night or you go on Tuesday night. You don't go on Friday night.
Good point.
This is game time, baby. You got to be here. Go another time. Well, I don't care if you lose your visa. Next year we won't sign you. That's it. I mean,
are you implying that players maybe aren't happy, and these are some different reasons for players to not be in Coach Callaway's lineup?
I'm not saying that the players aren't happy. I'm just saying that maybe they don't have the heart that we're used to in a player. I mean, Joe, I play in the over 40 league. You play in that league. You got guys out there that have 16 knee operations.
And they're still going hard.
They're playing, and they got to go to work the next day. This is your job.
Yeah.
Your stomach hurts, too bad. You got a headache, too bad. You got a slight concussion, too bad. You get out there and you play. You play your heart out. That's it. But, hey, I get emotional when we lose because I love this team so much. And I'm concerned. We gave up 4 goals tonight. That's nuts.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The number is 346-3000. Let's go to the phones, and we welcome Rob to the postgame show.
Hey, guys. Had a game myself that we lost, so it was sad to hear that they got 4 banged in on the cage on tonight. I'm a little surprised. I know that Atlanta's on a roll now, and they even beat Vancouver the other day 2-0, so they're doing something right there. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and to be honest with you, I mean, there's some good players on this team, but a lot of these guys, I mean, we don't have the Pat Onsteds. We don't have, the Tilly who scored 28 goals a year. We don't have Schweitzer. We don't have Craig Demon. We don't have those caliber of players anymore. And this league is much better than it was, years ago. I mean, there's not a zillion teams in the league, and there's a bunch of crappy teams where you can go into a game and go, "Oh, this is an easy 3 points." All these teams can beat you on any given day, and you better be ready. That's my opinion. You need to be right. I agree with Sammy. You need to go out there. This is a job. I mean, this isn't like these guys should be thankful that they're playing the game for money. Okay. There's people out there laying brick, and that's a real job. I mean, you need to go out there and bust your hump. If you don't have a broken leg, or if you don't have a severe concussion, or you're like Burns, his spleen's not inflamed or whatever, you need to be out there on the pitch. You need to suck it up.
I'm really concerned about these injuries that don't seem to be that serious. But the bottom line, Rob, is that this team needs to start replacing the guys you just mentioned. For the good of our fan base, you need to start replacing them.
Nobody fears Rochester anymore. I had a long discussion. I was talking to my buddy tonight. Nobody fears Rochester. We don't have, and I don't mean to be pessimistic, about this, but we just aren't feared anymore. It wasn't like back in the day we had Doug Miller, who was pretty much good for a goal every other game, or 2 every 3 games, No one fears us. I mean, I think they respect us. I mean, we're a good organization run, from the top on down and whatnot, professionalism. But we just don't have the quality. We don't have the quality that we used to have. We don't have the caliber. I mean, like I said, the Schweitzers, the Millers, the Demons. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The Onstads, those type of guys. And I know now with the MLS being better, though, most of those type of guys are going to go to the MLS. But we're not. It seems our draft picks. We're not getting draft picks that could come right in and start. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's guys out there that we could be drafting, and I'm not trying to knock the organization, because I love the team, but we got to start going out there and getting some good American players, and they're out there. There's good players in the United States at the Division I, NAI, whatever level. We got to do better with our draft picks. I think, we're just not picking the guys that could come right in and adjust to the level of play, because this league's better. I mean, look what happened with the USL Division II team knocking off DC United. There's good players. There's good American players in this country, and we need to start drafting them and picking them up.
Well, Rob, I think one thing that's hurting us as far as the draft is concerned is the MLS reserve system. A lot of those young guys who we would pick up opt to go to the reserve teams, and I think that definitely hurts us. But, Rob, you've got a goalkeeping background, a great goalkeeping background. Yeah. The goalkeeper, Nuno Santos, what are your early thoughts on him?
Well, like I heard you guys talking, and I wasn't at the game. I had to work that night later, the New England game, the Open Cup game. I talked to a friend of mine, 2 of my friends who were at the game, and they were keeping me abreast on the cell phone, and I said, what do you think? I mean, I've seen his resume, and I said, what do you think? Well, the one kid's a keeper, and he said, look, the guy holds the ball well. He's not really big. He's not like your typical American guy that comes in that's like 6 foot whatever and 200-something pounds. But he said he looks solid, but he wasn't overly impressed. But I said, give him a chance. It's been one game, on this game. And like I said, my background is in goalkeeping and whatnot. You got to take a look at the team in the context of how the goals were scored, how the team was broken down, leading to the shot that ended up in the goal. Did the keeper make a bad decision? Was he indecisive? I'm hearing you guys talk about, one of the goals, 4 guys are around the first attacker on the goal. It just seems to me that mentally things are just not clicking. It's almost like, we got a lot of injuries. It's almost like a fallback. I could be totally wrong, but a guy that's played 200-plus games in Europe, he's got to be quality. But then again, I'm saying to myself, why is he here? If he's that good, why is he, and not knocking, like I said, not knocking the USL First Division. If he's that good, why is he in MLS?
Well, Rob, I mean,
I could be totally wrong though too. So.
Yeah, I think I can't really give you my judgment yet on Nuno.
You got to see the games.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to get used to those guys in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, goalkeeping. I think the big thing that I think really probably brought him in for is his experience, and the big thing with American goalkeepers that I see is the decision making, coming for balls, flighted balls, and balls behind your back 4-3. And that's one thing that the European keepers are taught from the early ages. They're thrown into they play more games, and they're really trained. They actually don't play as many games when they're in their academies. They get a lot more training, and they learn to make those decisions instead of just learning to be a shot stopper. And Americans have excellent athletes that can save tons of balls, but for instance, like Chase Harrison, I've seen him play. Solid athlete, good build, good shot stopper, but decision making is poor, and that's because he hasn't played enough games yet.
Well, see, Rob, I'm sorry, I don't buy that, man. The guy played 4 years in college. He played 4 years in high school.
It's a different game.
Really?
Division I level, it prepares you, but it's a
who
different
are you
game.
playing
The
against?
players are better.
But you're not playing against Ronaldo. You're playing against guys that went to college, the guys that played American soccer. I mean, I say Chase Harrison's problem is confidence.
Well, yeah, because he made a couple errors.
Decision-making and confidence is in the same category.
Experience.
One last thing, Sam, on that. The great Peter Shilton said in an interview, he said, if you make a mistake and you let it get to you, he says you'll never be able to take another ball again. And I think that's what's happened to the kid. I have to agree with you on that.
All right, Rob, on that note, we thank you for your time tonight. The number is 346-3000, and Sam and I are going to fight decision-making, I think. You say confidence.
It's the same thing. If you had no confidence, you struggle to make your decision-making.
But the more experience you have at higher levels, in a higher pressure game, those decision-making skills become easier.
Well, again, Nuno Santos came in. He's our starter. We're going to go with him. He gave up 4 goals tonight. Not his fault. Gave up 4 goals the other night. Some say none of them were his fault. I'm not convinced that. Obviously,
I'm not going to say none were his fault. There's no way.
That's not. Obviously, if we lost both games and we gave up 4 goals, that probably wasn't our problem. Our problem is in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
We need controlling midfielders that can hang on to the ball, control the game, and have tempo of the game. Bradley's son this afternoon, I know it's at a different level, but it's the under 20s. His foot was on the ball every 10 seconds. He was everywhere, all over the field. And everyone, it was just like art. And that's how soccer's supposed to be. It's supposed to be an art game.
It's funny you said that, because that's a point you made. I remember sitting here during those early season away games. They need a central midfielder. They need a central midfielder. And you've been harping and harping and harping. Why hasn't the trigger been pulled yet?
I think part of the problem is that I think one of our callers said this. There's just not a lot available out there. Maybe I think Coach Galloway said that. I think the biggest problem is that Johnny Younger is, in my opinion, a true forward. Aaron Lyons is the closest thing that we have to that, but I think he plays too defensive at times. We need someone that can hold the ball, go offensive, make things happen. And, we have a whole slew of players that we could probably trade for right now to get that person.
You know what? I know this might sound crazy to fans, but, I know players in Italy who are 31, 32, 33, played in the Serie A. They'll come here. It's just I don't think we're digging deep enough. I really, really believe that.
Yeah, Joe, I think part of it, though, Rob mentioned some names before, but I told you I wrote a book. I'm not kidding. I really wrote a book, but it says trust. One chapter it's called Trust in the Players.
Okay.
And trust in the players means that if you look at Kenny Burks, great defender, Maryland, whatever, right? He was an amazing pick. Where's his buddies that he played with? What are they doing right now? There's only so many spots in MLS.
Right.
There's only so many spots in USL. In our heyday, if you look at Tommy Tanner was one of our first guys signed. He said to Pat Erkley, bring in Doug Miller, bring in Billy Andrecki, bring in Lennon Steenkamp. Yeah. I mean, Lennon Steenkamp, there's so much history of these guys. They all played together indoor. Carlos Zavallo, there's all these connections. Craig Demon and Nate Dallacott. I mean, you could go up, but these guys brought in guys they knew that had high quality and a lot of heart in them. I mean, John Ball's here because Schweitzer and Tanner knew him.
Yeah.
I mean, why aren't these players recruiting people that they know that could play at this level? They're out there. You're going to tell me that Pelguda and Burtz and Vallow, let's use those 3 guys as examples. Pelguda, Burtz, and Vallow, those 3 guys know of a creative midfielder they played with on another team, a Project 40, college. Coach, here's a guy. Let's bring him in. That's what you have to do. This is not NFL where you got to give everybody $1 million contracts.
Right.
You trust in the players. Let the players pick.
Who else do you want to trust in?
Yeah, because those guys know the guys that are weak in the locker room.
Yeah.
Those guys, they know the guys that go out partying, after games and don't take it serious. They know. The players know. So you don't need to, have these agents calling you from around the world. Trust in the players. They'll guide you to who they want on their team. And a lot of times, those guys, they know everything about them.
That's true. That's a good point. And I buy that, but I also think the search has got to be widened. It's got to be deeper. On the beach in Italy, I forgot what his name was. Guy played for Regina, 33 years old, center midfielder, and we were talking. You come to America, you make $60,000 a year, but they give you a car, they give you an apartment. started to think about things a little bit. You know, Sam, these guys will
But you think those guys can play at this level, this physical soccer?
Yeah. Listen.
It's a physical game. It's a different game, Joe. It's more of a college/indoor soccer, USL Division
Maybe
I.
he's just got to have not so many touches, play a little quicker, but their vision and their experience, I think, will overcome this nonsense kickball.
Well, I mean, we're both upset that our team lost 2 games. I'm upset.
We're looking for answers. 4-2, 4-1. We're huge Rhino fans. There's no doubt about that. But we're looking for answers to make this thing better.
I mean, it's the fans, too. I mean, I can't tell you on a daily basis the calls I get from fans and the questions I get. Today in Toronto, 2 fans, Rochester fans, what's going on with our team? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? I mean, you don't know what to say anymore. I mean, it's an issue. We have to turn this baby around. I thought the Carolina game was entertaining, but in reality, both teams gave each other too much space.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
The only good game that I saw this year from this team was the Charleston game at home.
Yeah. That
was a pretty game. It was well-played soccer. They came out with some fire. I mean, but, Deli being injured, Diallo going to get his visa situation done. Aaron Lyons.
You're digging for something here.
Aaron Lyons with a stomach problem here.
Bansu.
T-Bone, the Ugandan Giant, tweak something in practice. I mean, come on, guys.
Something is strange to me. I agree.
Can you imagine?
And the past, those guys, Steenkamps and Tanners, those guys, it's not a game.
Look at John Ball.
Kill me.
John Ball. When was the last time you heard John Ball be injured? I mean,
never.
He doesn't stop moving the whole game. You think he's not injured? You think he doesn't go home and can't move the next day? It's just, this is your job, man. You got to give it your all. This is what you do for a living. God gave you a gift, man. So, yeah, it's going to hurt, and maybe you're going to limp. But game time, that whistle blows. Everything's forgotten. You play. Kenny Burt's played with a broken nose and a broken wrist for I don't know how many games.
He's a fighter.
I mean, that's what you need out of your players.
Now, Sam, I think the team doesn't have a heartbeat, a guy who's their true heartbeat in the middle of the field. You always want to build a team around that guy. Even when I look at the guys who are injured, I still don't see that guy who's that main guy, that guy who says, okay, everything gets built around him, and then we'll work from there. It's like we're trying to put a piece here, a piece there, another piece here, and nothing's fitting in together.
But it's back to trust the players. You got to have your lineup set in your head.
Absolutely.
I mean, the national team game today, I mean, I knew exactly who was going to come in for who. You knew if Zizzo was dragging who was going to come in for him. You kind of knew, and that's kind of how it's got to be. But unfortunately, you can't blame Coach Callaway for this because of the injuries. But earlier on in the year, I don't think there's that situation. It's based on how you're practicing, what you did the last game. I think everyone by now should have their role.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is your position, and this is who you go to. This is your feed man. And I'm sorry, but Ray Martinez, again, he's just in a league of his own.
I'm surprised he didn't start tonight of all nights. With all the injuries, Diallo's out, Ambersley's out, Delicat is out. I'm surprised he didn't get the start. And he's going to be upset. I don't blame him if he is.
If I'm Ray Martinez and Chad Seaver starts over me,
I'm going back to Cuba.
Seriously, I'm getting on a raft and paddling back. Something's not right there.
Let's take a break here. This is the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct, folks. The number is 346-3000. Give us a call. The Rhinos, tough one tonight, 4-1, losing to Atlanta.
The Rhinos from their own 35. Tipped away on the far wing, carried off, and a pass upfield. That comes loose on the near side. Rios moving in from the 18, takes his shot. He scores. The Rhinos got all tangled up and left Rios wide open. He moved across the 18 on the left side, puts it just inside the post, and the Silverbacks regain their 2-goal lead.
Welcome back. The Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. Joe Giuliano with Soccer Sim. Your final score tonight: Atlanta 4, Rochester 1. The number is 346-3000. Michael, good evening and welcome to the postgame show.
That sure was ugly tonight, wasn't it?
I don't even know if that's the word. I mean, Atlanta has played 4 games in 7 days. They had U.S. Open Cup game on Monday, exhibition game on Thursday. And you know what? I think I got to give their team a lot of credit tonight, Michael and Sam. It was conservative but well executed.
Yeah, I only could hear it on the radio. I couldn't see it on the computer, but actually maybe I'm glad I didn't see it. But I have to agree with you guys about the midfield. As I think about the players we have, I like our defenders. I like our forwards. It's just the midfield. I mean, I always one of the first things I learned about soccer was that games are, offense and defense begin in the midfield. If you have the 4 best defenders in the world and your midfielders, flood you with 8 guys and don't mark them, well, you're going to give up goals. And same way you could have, Henry and Ronaldo starting up front, but if you don't have somebody get on the ball where they want it, they're not going to score goals.
Sadie, we were talking about the point, too, before, Michael and Sam, about having the guy who's the heartbeat of your team.
Yeah, you close your eyes and you're having a flashback.
I was closing my eyes thinking about when I coached at the college level and now at the high school level. I have this one kid, his name is Jake Cargill, okay? Great little player, midfield.
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
He's a guy, we park right in the middle of the field, and everything goes off of him and around him and through him. Let's be honest. Name the guy who was that guy for the Rhinos this year?
Some games it was...
Some games.
It was Aaron Lyons. I think some games it was Younger. Some games it's Burns. Some games it's Bolton. But I'm not sure if that's really what you're talking about.
It is.
That kind of player.
Absolutely. But that guy in the middle of the field who you envision everything going through. I see it in my mind right now as I close my eyes again and think about where you build and what you build around. We've had too many interchanges in crucial spots. That's my 2 cents. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
I was thinking like we won in 2001. I don't know how many forwards we tried out that year, and that was maybe our weak spot. But we had such a good midfield that they were scoring goals, and I think Lennon and Leitnoff were our 2 leading scorers, and we managed to win a title without really quality forwards that year because we had the best midfield in the league.
Michael brings up a great point. Think about that combination, Mladenoff and Steenkamp. I remember talking to people, and they hated coming across the middle of the field because they knew Steenkamp was going to rock them.
And he
was the rocker. He was all aggressive, and Mladenoff was the creator.
And he had
it was simple. It was known.
He had Martin Nash attacking from the outside, too, which added another dimension to it.
Absolutely.
Well, Mike, we're all disappointed, but I love this team, and I probably Saturday night against Seattle at home they're gonna shock us and kill Seattle, and then we forget all about this. I'm just concerned.
Yeah.
It just seems that we're not building the stars of tomorrow for whatever reason.
No, and it's kind of frustrating because we've been in first place a couple times, and it seems that whenever first place is just there waiting for them to grab it, and then that they stumbled like against Atlanta at home, and then against Seattle, and then they came back for the win against Carolina. But it was they lost 2 games that they could be clear of the table by about 9 points now if they hadn't been for those couple disappointing losses.
And tie against California as well at home. It's frustrating. I think we're just trying to rack our brains here and find different ideas and solutions. Michael, thank you for the call tonight. As always, we appreciate your time. Thank you. Again, the final score, Sam, Atlanta 4, Rochester 1. And I'm baffled. I know, the injuries are definitely a key factor tonight, but it's not just tonight. It's been an up and down season. It's more difficult than I can remember in the past.
Yeah, I mean, Michael just made a point that the Carolina game we won, which was Chase Harrison's last game in the Nets, I believe, but we didn't dominate play. I thought, it was a late goal. Joe, I just think that we need to decide, like you said about that creative midfielder guy, with our luck, that guy would probably be injured right now. But we need to figure out who that guy is.
We would know who he is, though, right?
Right.
Injured. We would know who he is. The number is 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless, and the Rhinos with a patchwork lineup tonight. 4-1 losers in Atlanta. The Silverbacks are a very hot team right now. And the Rhinos have played the most games, Sam. If you look into this stat here, Rochester's played 19 games, scored 26, and given up 26. Wow.
That's a lot of goals to give up.
I just don't, I don't like there's no separation. You look at Portland, 18-4, 7 against. It's the top teams all over the world. It's just, that's a lopsided stat.
Sure.
26-26 is too 500 for me.
I mean, let's face it, we lost Scott Vallow after the second game, best goalie in this league, maybe one of the top goalies in American soccer.
Without a doubt.
Kenny Burt's injured. I mean, Palguda being forced to go on the outside when I think the goal was for him and Burt's to be in the middle, earlier on.
Right.
They brought in Jason Perry injured. Nate Kraft, the crafty man, last year was an amazing left-sided player out there. So we're lacking, if you look at Coach Callaway's chalkboard, I can see where he wanted everyone to be, but these injuries are just, I think, really messing him up. Because, you got Black now playing more defensive. Maybe he was really supposed to be a midfielder. You got Novak, who maybe was going to be a midfielder/defender. He's out with an ankle injury. Mike Ambersley, Coach Callaway talked about him earlier on. This is our next big guy. That's our team. Deli and Ambersley. Remember, Gallo wasn't even playing. It was Ambersley and Deli.
Yeah, but as a coach, your forwards are who you think they are, but then if someone gets hot, that's your man.
Right. But I'm saying that those guys are gone. Injuries, bad,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I got a feel for the guy. But I think despite all the injuries, we haven't had a real creative center midfielder in the last year.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that coaches made bad decisions or someone's doing a terrible job. I just think that's the missing piece to the puzzle here for the Rhinos. This is not a personal attack on anybody.
Yeah, no.
It's just comments about what we see, and I think as frustrated people, we want to see this team succeed and do well. The number is 346-3000. Let's go to the phones and speak with Awesome Al.
Yeah, I say forget the shootout, man. Yeah. No, we're not talking about that.
Not tonight, Al.
Oh, okay. Well, one word, cohesion. Where's the cohesion? Like, where's the money? Show me the money. Show me the cohesion. Okay? I mean, there's no glue holding this team together. I understand the injury situation. That makes it tough, and that's understandable. But we're talking about throughout the season. This is just not a one-game illness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's got to start right at the beginning of day one of training camp.
I mean, listen, back when they did the run, when the Rhinos won the U.S. Open Cup, what year was that, 99?
1999.
All right. I mean, they had a lot of hurdles to overcome. That wasn't a piece of cake run. They had a lot of challenges and stuff to meet, and issues to deal with. I mean, every season has its issues. You got to find a way to piece it together.
Well, Al, there's an example right there. I'm pretty sure that Craig Demon was injured, and Andrew Streppel stepped up.
Yes.
So Andrew Streppel, who was on the bench a lot, came in and just smoked it, man. He was our player. Yeah. And Doug Miller didn't get a lot of playing time all year long, but when he came off the bench, he did his job.
True that.
And back before that was the Michael Kerms era, and that was the year of Michael Kerms, 99. But I think some of these guys are on the bench. Ray does it at times, and I don't buy these excuses because the defense is tired. Ray eats up the other team's defense.
You got to be willing, though, to go with a player like Ray, who you know is not going to give you a lot of defensive work, but he's going to give you that opportunity to offensively explode.
I mean, who's motivating these boys? Tired? What do you mean telling me you're tired? You're a professional that's being played to play this game. What are you talking about tired? You're on the game. That's what you're getting paid to do. And is there any kind of motivational criteria going on or activity going on? What is this coach talking to him about? I don't get it. Where's the cohesion? All right, you soccer animals, have a good one.
Awesome, Al. Thanks for the call. We got to take one more quick break. The number is 346-3000 star 1040. It's a free call on the Verizon Wireless. Give us a call. This is the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct.
Come and see your Rochester Rhinos on Saturday, July 21st as they take on the Seattle Sounders at 7:35. Get your Zweigels family 4-pack. That's 4 premium tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas for $64. Tickets are available at the Baytech Park box office, Ticketmaster.com, or call 232-1900 to charge by phone. Come see why we are Soccertown, USA. Long throw in down to the 6 and a flick on, but that's knocked away out top. And Younger from 20, right-footed kick. That's blocked to the wall in front. Here's a shot he knocked down. Rebound, they score! The first shot in, McIntosh knocked it down. Kramer's there, gets the rebound with the left foot, and now they're going to wave it off. Was it offside? Offside flag. Oh, man. Well, he got excited for no reason there. Offside flag. As Kramer, I was just about to say, was going to have his first goal. But it's waved off. Offside against the Rhinos.
Welcome back to the Heineken Direct Show, call-in show. Sam, Don Stevens, I feel bad. He wasted a lot of energy there after the offsides goal.
Oh, man. And poor Danny Kramer thought he got his first pro goal, and didn't happen. But at least Chad Severs got his first pro goal, USL Division I pro goal tonight. Hey, let's see what happens. I mean, these guys got a little rest period coming on. You know, Al mentioned cohesion. I just think that for whatever reason, these guys just need to understand that this is your job. You got to be in the hospital if you're not going to be playing. That's it. You know, that's how I feel.
My thought, we were talking a little bit about this during the break. To me, they look very tired. I don't know if it's the game after game or if it's the training sessions that are too intense, but they look hammered and beat up. And you know, maybe you slow down a little bit as far as training is concerned. Light sessions, small set of games, little stretches. Tactically, I think they know what they have to do. It's too late to be making drastic changes in the year, but I don't know. They look very beat up and tired. And what's surprising is a lot of these injuries are coming in practice.
Yeah, that is a surprise. But, you know, Joe, it's just, I think it's fatigue. You mentioned how many games they played compared to the other teams. Let's see what happens. I mean, Saturday night, it's a big game. They got that big special there, 4 for $64. I mean, Saturday night is going to be big, and in Seattle, and Howes comes back to town. He had some negative comments after that big win. He said it was Christmas or something. Jingle bells, he said in the paper, I thought.
They stole the game. It was a gift.
Yeah, it was a gift that game. So let's see what happens Saturday night, and hopefully all these injuries clear up. Nuno Santos, you know, I think he's the real deal. You know, I kind of agree with Rob a lot. We'll see what happens. Defensively, I think Pelguda could do it. I think Pelguda could be the leader in the middle. You know, when you talk to the guy, he's a very intelligent young man. For whatever reason, you just got to give him the stripes. It's like, you're our leader. Go with it.
Yeah. I mean, he comes into a tough situation. He came in, Scotty Schweitzer was still here. Then all of a sudden, Kenny Burts comes in, and he just demands respect, and he's got a presence. But Pelguda, I think, quietly, professionally, could be the leader, like you say. I agree.
Yeah, and I think if Jason Perry gets healthy, he is an amazing defender.
Yeah, I wish Jason nothing but the best. Great guy.
Yeah. And Ray Boom Boom, I think you got to give him 90. I mean, let's face it, I think earlier in the year we thought Diallo couldn't do 90 because of... I watched Freddie do today, Joe. He plays no defense. No defense, but he gets the ball at his feet, and it's like art. It's like magic. And there's guys like that. You got to just let them do their thing.
Yeah, you're willing to sacrifice the fact that this guy is super creative. He's not going to put a lot of defense, but he's going to put some fear in that other team.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, Joe, listen, I had one heck of a soccer day here, traveling around the country watching soccer and getting to see a great game tonight. I can't wait for Saturday night. I love these guys. I love this coach. I love this team. And when they lose like this, I get down a little bit. Now I'm back to normal. Okay, let's forget about it. Saturday's a new game. We're going to win big. I'm out.
All right, Soccer Sam, go home, put on your soccer jammies, and get some sleep tonight. For Don Stevens, our producer Nick Busco, and Soccer Sam, I'm Joe Giuliano. The Rhinos back in action on Saturday night. Seattle Sounders coming to town. You've been listening to Raging Rhinos Soccer